Hello, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late. We had a last-minute emergency. Our one of our tripods broke.
The dongle that holds your phone.
Is that a dongle? Is that
I don't know.
considered a dongle?
I think that anything you can call anything a dongle. Right?
You're a dongle.
I am a dongle.
Anyway, I had to run to Walmart real quick and buy a new
panic shop.
buy.
Were you like pushing people out of the way, like, I got a stream to do? Were you literally doing that?
I mean, I'm literally still wearing gym shorts.
Yeah.
I had enough time to run my fingers through my hair and put a shirt on. But we're here. We're here. That's the important part. It's been a fucking crazy busy couple weeks. There's a lot going on. If you've been checking the membership feed, you know what we're talking about. Not only did we have the season finale of the podcast, which is, I think it's safe to say, it's the most popular episode we've released.
You might want to go look at those numbers.
Glad we saved that one for the season finale.
Yeah.
Cripes. Announcement of the tour. You guys, museum members, got the announcement of the tour, all the tour dates, and the world premiere of The Unbinding. Finally!
It's happening!
It's happening! Finally!
Front high five.
Nice work.
Wow, I hurt my elbow. Oh, like made my elbow go backwards. That felt weird.
So much stuff going on right now. Thank you for bearing with us.
Yes.
I know that some of you have tried to get a hold of us and emailed us and stuff like that. I promise as soon as this craziness is over, we'll get back to you.
Just imagine we read your email, but we were crying.
Yes. Yes. Somebody's asking, are you doing VIP in Austin? I didn't see the option on Dallas. Honestly, when it comes to like the VIP and stuff like that, I have no idea what to tell you. We're not handling any of that stuff.
It's being organized.
We have our own booker who's doing that whole tour.
Yeah.
And we would not be able to do the tour if it wasn't for this guy.
Yeah.
So this guy's like a fucking champion.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't even be happening.
Yeah.
So short answer to my long rant is I don't know. If it's not listed, I assume they don't have something like that. But I promise, no matter what tickets you get, we'll treat you like a VIP.
Yeah. True.
True. How is everyone doing? I feel like it's been a while since we've done a live stream, but it's not.
It really hasn't been very long.
It's just we've been so fucking busy.
Yeah.
We've been going.
Is that one? That's probably, you know what? We broke the thing for the tripod right after the last stream.
Yeah, that's exactly
what it was. Right afterwards.
That's exactly what it was.
And we forgot.
And here, I'm going to give one blanket response to everyone who's sad that we're not coming to their specific city. I'm so sorry. I promise if we could do it, we would. This is what we have to work with. We kind of came into the game late. We were only supposed to do one date.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing one date. We were going to fill in for one of our best friends, Amy Bruni, on a date that she couldn't do. And it turns out a lot of other people wanted us. So we're doing the best that we can. If we're not coming to your neck of the woods, I'm so sorry. Maybe next year.
Mm-hmm.
A big thing with this tour is we've never done anything like this before.
Never.
And again, like I said, if somebody else wasn't organizing it, we would not have the energy, time, or mental capacity to do it.
Yeah.
This is sort of a test run. If people show up, if we've got good numbers, we will have a much greater ability to go to more towns, more cities, more parts of the country next year.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for bearing with us while we try something brand new. This is brand new for us. And please accept our apologies if we're not coming to your area. I know that a lot of the so-called flyover states are seeing us. And
we live in one of those.
We do. Specifically New England. I'm sorry, New England.
I feel like here's the thing. New England is so packed full of ghost hunters. It's the most ghost huntery place in the world that they probably were like, you don't want
here's
the
the thing.
competition.
The ever-present ghosts of the Warrens are keeping us out of New England.
That also.
Because they know that our lecture will make them look like fools.
Yeah. So, the Lorraine Warren homunculus keeps us,
Lorraine Warren homunculus.
It keeps us out.
Oh, God. Yeah. So it turns out.
Yeah. Someone says remote view the speaking tour.
There you go. There you go.
That's actually a really funny idea.
Check out the podcast that we did about Uri Geller, and you'll
You'll know how to do
you'll
it.
know how to remote view. I promise we didn't leave New England out on purpose.
No.
It just turns out, go figure. There's a whole lot of people talking about ghosts
Yeah.
in the fall out there.
Yeah, there's
And
a lot.
competition's pretty stiff.
Apparently, there's a lot of that.
So you can just knock down some doors, let everybody know how much you want to see us, and maybe we'll be there next year.
Yeah.
I will say right now, the chances of us adding any more dates to the tour are probably pretty slim, because we are
I think
fucking packed.
Yeah.
We still got to do Magic of the Month, both of the months that we're going to be gone. We're very fortunate that we're going to have some house sitters who are going to help us with all that stuff.
Yeah, they might be appearing on your screen.
It's a surprise.
I know. I'm not going into detail.
I promise you're going to have a lot of really entertaining stuff in the membership feed.
Yes.
And some very entertaining live streams.
Yes.
While we're on the road.
Yes.
But I don't want to spoil.
No spoilers.
You're going to love it.
Yeah,
though.
it's going to be so fun.
Keelan's doing their best to fight off the Lorraine Warren homunculus.
Thank you,
there.
Keelan.
Thank you.
Doing God's work. Doing the God's work.
We're gonna be dead tired for Mackinac. I mean, Mackinac's fun though. We're gonna have fun at Mackinac. It's fun. We just I will say, you're going to be getting a different lecture at Mackinac than you are at any of the other places. It would be fair to everybody. So you're going to get something a little bit different at Mackinac. Before we keep going, I do want to say there are literally only like 24 tickets left for the world premiere of The Unbinding. Those are going to go public tomorrow. The Frida's going to list them on their website tomorrow. So if you have any interest, if you've been putting it off, I would absolutely get them tonight. Otherwise, they're going to be gone fast tomorrow.
Yeah. There's not many left. So
there's not. And it's like a 205 seat theater. So we're going to have a sold out showing.
That's wild.
It's going to be the first time. We literally just today, the guy who's doing our DCP file, if you're showing a movie, like all modern movies that are shown
mean?
digitally, it's a digital cinema projection. Digital cinema projection files are humongous files. Like this one's about 100 gigs for like a movie's 97 minutes long.
Is it like the Oppenheimer
no,
reels?
no.
Carl's made the Oppenheimer reels of the paranormal.
We just got the quality control clearance for the DCP file, so we can show it in the cinemas for the screenings today. And the guy that did it, again, is the guy who does this for a living. He only watches people's movies all day long, like Hollywood films all day long. Make sure that they pass quality control, that the surround sound works. Because guess what? Carl mastered The Unbinding in fucking surround sound. You're gonna actually feel the crone breathing down your neck.
Oh,
it's crazy.
That's actually really scary.
It's so scary. He had to watch the movie, and this guy again sees movies all day long.
So he's
not
like
our target audience.
Just
really,
a guy. He's just a movie person.
Like he works in the industry.
Got it.
He had nothing but one.
It was very. He sent a very nice email.
Very nice
email. Really, really sweet, and it was really like, you always get like that last minute, like, oh god, like the nerves. So it's nice. It's nice to hear something nice from someone.
Somebody said, "Dang it, when is it streaming?" Well, guess what? We got the official release date today.
We did,
and you're gonna find out if you tune into the live podcast on next Friday.
1 week from today.
1 week from today, we're doing a live podcast special just for museum members. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be broadcast through Facebook. Actually, it will be broadcast through Facebook.
Yeah.
What am I saying? It'll be broadcast through Facebook and YouTube. And
because it's all museum members.
It's for all museum members.
Yes.
We don't normally do streams like that. It's going to be for all museum members. And there's going to be lots of surprises. There's going to be special guests. There's going to be special segments. This episode's all about the crone. And you might get to see the feature trailer at some point, and then learn when you will be able to see it at home. But before that happens, we are having at least 3 screenings. I'm trying to do 4, but we're doing at least 3. One of them is in Santa Ana, California.
That is the premiere.
That's the world premiere at the Frida Cinema. We couldn't have had a cooler cinema.
Shout out
premiere this in
to the Frida Cinema.
That's on the 12th On the 20th, we will be having the Midwest premiere right here in Cincinnati. I can't give you the venue yet. I did just sign the contract for it today, so it definitely is happening on the 20th at 8 o'clock.
Are we gonna give? We're gonna give museum members first crack.
You guys are gonna know before anybody else.
Cool.
The same way with the tour.
Yeah. So if you want and you live somewhere in the Midwest or in Ohio and that's something that you're interested in, you will get first dibs. And then the last one is.
People keep saying that my voice is fading away to nothing. So
weird.
Don't know what that's all about. We'll do our best here. I don't know what that is. No, you know what it might be? It might be that the other camera was on and I had it. It wasn't muted.
Oh, okay.
That's probably why. It's probably picking up some stuff out there. Anyway, I think I figured it out.
Way to go. Way to figure it out. Good job.
I mean, we'll see. The viewers will let us know.
I'm trying to think positive.
Well, some people are saying it sounds fine to them. Other people are saying it's not. So I don't know.
What?
Don't know. We're doing our best. Put headphones in.
It sounds better now. People are saying it sounds
cool.
Better now.
Okay, great.
Adam likes your glasses.
Why, thank you. I don't really wear these. These are sort of my casual glasses. I didn't even have time to put my contacts in for the stream tonight.
Did you have to pry 3-month-old contacts out of your eyeballs?
Stop. Are you trying to embarrass me?
Are you trying to embarrass me? No.
Yeah, I leave my contacts in longer than I should. Most people do.
You know what it comes from? It stems from one fear that I have. First of all, I've never put contact lenses in my eyes. I would probably puke if I tried to. I'd be like, huh! I couldn't do it. But when I was a child, my Uncle Gary put contact lenses in and he fell asleep. And this was in the 80s before they had the kind you could throw away. It was when they had the big pieces that went in your eyes. And he fell asleep with them in his eyes. And one of them went up into his eyeball, up into the cavity. And it was stuck there for ever. And they had to flush it out.
Sounds like he's a real puss.
He died
Deal
this
with
year.
it. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jeez.
He used to terrify me with gross stories about eyeballs. But
it's fine.
Anyway, that's my detour.
Anyway,
he would have liked that
Thank you for the compliment, Adam. Anyway, the 20th, Cincinnati, we will be having the Midwest premiere of The Unbinding.
Yeah.
And I'm working right now on the following weekend, a premiere screening on the East Coast. I'd like to do 2 if I can. I'd love to be able to do New York, but I'm kind of getting the runaround from some of the theaters that I'd like to work with there. But
you should just go, hey, I'm screening a movie here.
I don't think they'll care.
Sorry, New Yorkers.
I'm trying my best. But Pennsylvania
sure
probably will have a screening that weekend. So that might end up being our East Coast premiere.
That's cool.
We'll see.
Pennsylvania's good. That's close to New England. Is Pennsylvania in England?
It is, but it's also going to be close to where we were doing the 3D scanning in the Crone.
Yes.
So it's no matter what, you're gonna have to do a little driving because it's my hometown.
Oh, you get to go explore Greg's hometown.
You can go see my hometown. I'll give you directions to Barclay Cemetery if you want to go check it out.
It's basically Sunnydale, for Buffy fans, if you've ever.
I'm doing my best. I promise we'll try and get it on the East Coast, but
either way,
it'll probably be Pennsylvania is what it's looking like right now.
And either way, we have a date that we got literally today, and that date is coming
very soon. Very soon. You'll find out next weekend.
Ooh.
And we're very excited for you to find out.
It's
and so I promise, even if you can't make one of the screenings, you should if you can.
We should screen with Adam. Adam's Theater.
Do you do digital cinema projections? Do you have a 5.1 surround system there?
Let's bring it to
we'll
the
talk.
We'll Crone zone it.
We'll talk.
We got to Crone zone it.
It might not be a premiere screening. It might be after it's out everywhere, but we're gonna try and do as many. I had to pay for this fucking file. Oh, all right.
We're coming for you, Adam.
Okay. See, what I wanted to do a screening in the Catskills, but all the theaters there are giving me the runaround.
Yeah.
And they're insanely expensive. because this is the other thing I'll let you guys know. There's no reason I shouldn't. We're not making money on these screenings.
No.
We're doing it basically just to have a place for all of us to get together and see these things on the big screen. This isn't a money-making thing. The tickets are going to be super cheap. I think they're like $12 at the free-to screening.
It's for community, baby.
Yeah, and they're keeping all that money.
Yeah.
So
and how wonderful is it for all of these amazing theaters to like screen an independent film? Like that's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Yeah. And the Frida's a nonprofit too. And they're literally one of the coolest cinemas in Southern California.
Yeah. Someone says the Catskills are bougie. I've heard that they're kind of bougie.
Well, watch the Unbinding.
We're here to change that, baby.
We weren't really hanging out in any of the. You know what? We need to change the way that we're making these projects. We got to start hanging out in some bougier places. Why can't we like find like a cursed idol?
I know,
in like
Sedona, Arizona. Yeah, exactly.
Pacific Northwest or something.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's always in these like really sketchy,
scary places. Wait, Rob said something that just made me laugh inside my head. Where was it? Rob volunteers to be the fake Chonky Crone with visible seams. The visible seams is the part that made me. Is it called a guffaw? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what happened in my head.
Yeah.
I made this sound.
Anyway, I know I'm seeing so many recommendations in the chat. There's only 2 of us. It's only so much of us to go around, and we're already kind of stretched thin because of the tour this fall. We're going to do as best we can. There's probably, as far as premiere screenings go, there's going to be 3.
Mm-hmm.
Anything after that will just be like a special event, and we'll try and do some of those too.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, we're not intentionally leaving anyone out. We're just trying to do these in the way that makes the most sense. So, yeah, stay tuned for those for tickets to the Cincinnati and the New York or Pennsylvania showing, whichever one comes through.
And then tomorrow, the tickets for the California for the premiere go live to the general public, right?
They go live to the general public. Okay. So if you are on the fence, make a decision tonight because they'll probably be gone pretty quick tomorrow.
But you do have those 2 other options, and we'll obviously give you first crack.
Yeah, you'll have first crack at any of the premiere screenings. I see that some of you guys are almost selling out some of the tour dates.
The tour dates.
They haven't even really been announced to the public. We haven't announced the tour to the public.
No, we haven't done that yet. There's like 3 places that have like sneaky advertised.
Yeah, I'm sorry that the announcement in the museum was kind of a mess. We weren't supposed to announce anything until all of the dates were locked in, but some of the venues,
they started getting ahead of themselves.
They started putting them live, and you guys are sneaky little detectives.
Yes.
And you found a bunch of them already. And we wanted to make sure that we gave you guys the first crack before we start promoting it.
I love that because it's like the same level of like stalkering that I do on the internet when I'm like, I need to figure this out. I go like deep, and I know I'm being weird when I'm like looking around. And so it makes me happy to know that there are like-minded people who get weird and look for their information.
We will I think we're going to start promoting the tour to the public probably Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I think Monday is when we'll do that. And then the Frida Cinema world premiere of The Unbinding will be tomorrow. And then
Online Detective, there we go. That's what I was trying to. Thank you. It always says Facebook user, but I appreciate it.
So anyway, a lot of crazy stuff's been going on. We've got so much stuff. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I possibly missed before we start talking about what we're doing tonight.
No.
Okay.
I think you got it.
What'd you guys think of the season finale? I had so much fun with that episode.
I know.
It was so great. And you know, I'm gonna say this all on the live stream too, but I just have to take a moment and give a huge thank you to Connor Randall.
Professor Connor.
He just took the concept of this show and he ran with it, and he really turned it into something better than it could have been without him.
That's the Connor touch.
It really is.
Connor
he really crushed it.
Connor magic. The magic of Connor is that he makes everything better. That's what he does. He literally does.
He just killed it.
Yes.
I feel like he was born to do this type of thing. So I'm already excited about season 2. We've already been talking about ideas for it. I also should say humongous thank you to Carl Pfeiffer for making that beautiful bean footage.
Getting in there.
It looks so great.
Filming the possible UFO wreckage so beautifully so that all the UFO bros could miss it completely. They'll watch 8,000 hours of Rogan.
Yeah, I know.
They will not sit through 2 minutes of a video.
Creaming their Krav Maga gear about absolute huckster grifter motherfuckers who want to take their money.
But they're like, I'm not sitting through 2 minutes
they literally skip straight to
incredibly beautiful footage of up close.
Why didn't you show the UFO parts? We literally did in macro footage.
We couldn't
have
see
shown
every
it to
goddamn
you any more detail.
Oh my god.
Idiots, the UFO community. My god.
And we can't not shout out Miss Keelan. Keelan.
Researcher extraordinaire.
Keelan.
Really. It was just, I know Keelan wasn't there for every single episode, but it was always fun to have Keelan in the studio.
Yeah, and the thing is, sometimes if Keelan wasn't on camera, Keelan was still doing research.
Oh, yeah. She's researching every single episode.
So shout out to Keelan.
So thank you, Keelan. We couldn't have done it without you.
I think Keelan's out there somewhere.
I think so. It was a really great season, and it was kind of a learning process too. There's things that we were trying to figure out, and I think we really found our groove, particularly in the second half of the season. So I feel so good that we're going to come into the second season real strong. I'll tell you this, we haven't really talked about this, but this UFO episode is what pushed us over 1 million downloads in 19 episodes.
That is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of in my entire life.
It's crazy.
That's the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Do you know what a million people look like?
Oh man,
that's the scariest amount of people.
I know. That's pretty crazy.
It's wild.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for talking to people about it. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for being a museum member.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for museum members, we wouldn't be able to do the show. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. I talked about it in the last episode, but all of the stuff that we preserved from Glenn's storage shed is literally because of museum member support. It's the only reason that we can do that. We just wouldn't be able to. So thank you guys. We owe quite a bit to you, but I promise we'll keep doing more fun stuff with all of your support. We have big plans.
Oh God, when you said big, it really scared me. I I don't know why. I also was doing my meditations before the stream, and I'm trying to keep my energy real chill and write down the line. And all sounds for some reason are really triggering me right now. I'm like, huh!
Someone asked, April said, do you think a year ago you'd have 1 million people downloading your podcast? I hoped so, but I did not bank on it. not at all. I definitely didn't bank on it.
I mean,
and it was very funny because the first episode that we released, I went, oh fuck, I bit off more than I could chew.
Yeah.
Because it really was it's basically editing a film every 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it's editing,
it's researching, producing, filming, audio, all of that. Chuck's doing voiceovers.
We have to get Connor gets
costumes, segments. It really is more of a variety show. You know what we need to do?
I just had a really funny idea. We got to do a museum or a Patreon video where we take you through the wardrobe rack.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
See what's on the wardrobe rack, all the different costumes. We can do throwbacks to what episodes they're in. Fun. All right, we'll do that. That's fun.
So yeah, I was at the very beginning. I was like, oh fuck, I hope people listen to this podcast because not only is it a giant time investment, but it's we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's an investment.
Yeah, there's 5 cameras. There's a switchboard. There's an audio board. There's 2 editing computers, 4 microphones. This was a big investment. So thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. But I would be honest. I'm kind of glad to not have to edit a podcast episode this weekend.
Yeah.
To pull another all-nighter. You've been doing a lot of those.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I mean, one of the fun things about having a little bit of a break between seasons too is it gives us the opportunity to kind of fine tune what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like
yeah.
how it works. It's so funny. Like even just looking at like the episode ideas, seeing what people were interested, what they weren't interested, and how to, like get them to. It's just it's fun now because now we kind of get to do a bit of like
Reset.
sitting down and resetting and looking at all the stuff that worked. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Graham, I just turned 27. Can't do all-nighters anymore.
Oh,
how old am
my
I?
God.
37?
You're 38.
38? Imagine how I feel.
Yes.
Holy cow. Because I feel like a kid still. That's the weird part about getting older.
Do you find when you're older, like we are? Well, can we also, for 2 seconds, we went and saw Destroy Boys.
Oh, yeah. People keep asking about the
Yeah.
shirt. This is from the Destroy Boys show. This is my friend Alexia.
Yay!
Alexia invited us to come see the Destroy Boys
And
show.
it was very cute.
It was fucking banging.
Oh, yeah. It was great.
They ripped, man. They have a new single out called Shadow. You should go check it out. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So we were getting ready to leave after the show, and we kind of just stopped by the area, like the backstage area, and we were like, we're gonna go get food. And we were talking to the bass player, and the bass player called us older people.
I think that was the first time where I was like, oh fuck, I'm old.
Well, I mean, we were definitely like looking around and going like,
they're kids. Like the Destroy Boys
Yeah.
are kids.
I mean, they're not kids, they're in their 20s, but like
they might as well be kids.
compared to us older people, they definitely are. And it was like we both it was the first time, and I kind of like,
what did he say? He's like,
just-
it's always
so
great to
cool,
me, like cool
weirder
older people.
and
And
we
I
were
was
like,
like,
whoa, older
no,
people.
older
But it was very
people.
cute, and I loved every second of it. And because I am an older person, so you're absolutely correct, and I am totally that way. But do you find that as an older person, which I think should be the term that we all use now?
Older
We're just
person.
older. We're just older people. We're not old. We're all just, of a certain age. We're older people. Do you find as an older person that if you do an all-nighter, you are filled with existential dread? And just like a weird depression that sets in because it's like you have
it's hopelessness.
You have
no.
the
I'll be it'll be 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I still got like an hour or two of editing to do on the episode, and it literally is just despair and hopelessness that washes over me.
Yeah.
And I have to push through it.
Yeah.
So I just get fucking ripped high, and that like makes me feel better, and then I can.
And then you can edit.
Yeah, edit it.
Are you sure that's not what's taking you so long to edit?
No, because I don't do it until I need it.
I get it, and I can't pull all-nighters. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I like wither at like 10 o'clock
You've
at
made
night.
a few valiant efforts.
I've tried, but you'll find me sleeping on the floor somewhere. Like I'll be like, I'm here in spirit, and I'm just curled up on the floor sleeping because I can't do it. I can weird as an older person, I do like sleeping on the floor though, which is kind of strange.
Oh man, I can't do that.
I know.
That would really hurt me.
I'm a floor person, like shout out floor people. You know what I'm talking about? You like to sit on the floor. You like to you don't have a problem with like if all the chairs are filled, you don't have a problem just like popping a squat and sitting.
No, I
on
mean
the
I
floor.
can do that, but I can't sleep on a floor.
I can sleep on the floor.
Not anymore. I used to
like
sleep
hard
anywhere.
surfaces. I'm like, hey, I'm like a vampire. I just want a hard surface. Floor people. Oh
man.
I see there's a lot of floor people out there. I'm a floor person through and through.
What? Mick, I had to take something called Gorilla Mode. Gorilla Mode to plan a table setting at work today. So yeah.
Is Gorilla
Mode.
I feel like I have to try this Gorilla Mode at least once in my life.
I know, me too. Holy shit.
The turbo.
Okay, I think that's everything. I think I covered everything I want to talk to you guys about. Again, thanks for showing up for the final podcast. Thank you guys for sharing it with everybody. I'm so excited for season 2. Thank you guys for getting tickets to the world premiere of The Unbinding. I'm so stoked about it. There will be more screenings, and thank you guys for coming to the speaking tour. We're so excited about it. We've never done anything like this before. Cool. And we have some really fun plans for it. I think you're going to really dig it.
I did add some new museum members to the group.
Welcome
new museum members.
Stream, thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for joining the museum.
There are lots of previous streams. You're looking at like 5 years at this point of investigations and fireside chats, and you have a lot of content.
There's
a lot of content.
Tons and tons. if you're looking for recommendations, there is in the FAQ a link to like our top favorites, like the best ones. And you can go check those out. And those are a good place to start. And I'm sure that if you need recommendations, just ask the museum members. They'll give you their favorites. But there's a lot of stuff in there.
Do you want to talk? I'll take a moment here to kind of go through what's about to happen, because it's not traditional remote viewing.
No, every once in a
like
while,
psychic
there's
questing.
the nerds get their panties
Yes.
in a bunch because
Yes.
it's not traditional like target number based remote viewing.
Yes.
It's probably closer to psychic questing, but fuck those nerds. Who cares? It's remote viewing. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do tonight, Dana, if you haven't listened to the last episode of the podcast, this might not make a ton of sense, but the last episode of the podcast, the season finale, was all about how we purchased a abandoned storage unit that turns out belonged to Glenn Campbell, who was like the guy when it came to Area 51. He put Area 51 really on the map for real.
Yeah.
Everyone always talks about Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. Oh, also, does everyone watch the video? It's in the museum.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, sorry. You said Bob Lazar, literally.
Of course. Everyone talks about Bob. No. Glenn
Lazar.
Campbell. Glenn Campbell was the fucking guy.
Glenn was the guy.
He was so cool. He's just like a hero of civil disobedience. This fucking guy ruled, and he had this whole storage unit that would have gone to waste. I shudder to think about what would have happened to all this stuff, because
probably the same thing that happened to all of
John
Keel's
stuff.
research.
Oh,
it's
man.
rotting in a landfill somewhere because they dumped it into a dumpster.
Horrible.
I literally get like cold
chills.
I get diarrhea when I think about it. I'm like, immediately
Amityville.
I gotta go to the boathouse.
You gotta go to the boathouse or something different.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Well, maybe I gotta go to the boathouse too. I don't do that in the boathouse. That sounded really weird. Not that I'm judging, but do your thing.
I mean, if I had boathouse, I might do it in the boathouse. Why not?
No, I meant diarrhea in the boathouse.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
It's not really my thing, but you do you. It's okay. It's okay.
That's a deep cut. That's an episode 1 throwback.
Yeah, literally.
That's October.
Yeah.
Glenn passed away from lymphoma in 2021. It was the second time that he had gone through it.
So not that long ago.
Not long ago at all. And Glenn's storage unit was abandoned, and I fortunately was tipped off to it and was able to acquire it. And Tyler Strand and we went out to California. We loaded all the stuff up. And as we talked about in the podcast, our friend Brian Payette told us that someone had broken into his car, stolen the key, and tried to kick the door open to the storage unit, but he had already put a new lock on it as soon as he found out.
So scary.
We saw UFOs on the way home. It was crazy. Well, one of the things that was contained in this plethora of files, it's everything from like Bob Lazar's phone numbers in there, and there's like
sitting here.
There's probably 50 tapes of like recorded Area 51 radio,
Area 51 commentary, stories, and international stories. Like, it's literally just an unimaginable amount of research.
Just incredible stuff. There were also a bunch of UFO parts in labeled genuine UFO debris. And there's about half a dozen different pieces in there. They don't all look like this. This is the one that we showed on the episode. They don't all look like this.
We have to hide our faces. We're not crazy. It's the camera.
There you go.
It always tries to focus on a face. So
some of them are much weirder looking than that one that I can't figure out
even
what they
just
could be.
From like energy reading kind of perspective, some of them have a weird vibe.
For sure.
I don't know if that counts for anything, but
one of them is strange because it's metal, it's metal,
yeah,
but it's like almost looks organic, and it feels like a piece of obsidian, like a piece of black obsidian.
Yeah, it's really
weird.
It has a bizarre weight to it, like an imbalanced weight in a way that it feels like it shouldn't.
Real strange.
And Britney's headshot. That's true.
Oh yeah, the weirdest thing in there was a signed headshot from Britney Spears.
I love it. It just says that Glenn had dimension.
That's true. He did.
Glenn was a
He did have
dimensional
dimension.
person.
We're going to use the UFO parts, the ones that we showed on stream or on screen, in order to sort of, Dana's going to use them as an anchor in order to try and psychically project herself to remote view beyond the gates of Area 51.
Oh my God. I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie. I've been preparing.
I mean, there's
all
good
day.
reason to be.
Yeah. I've been
the CIA knows what they're doing.
I've been preparing all week, but like I've been sort of like really in it all day.
Oh man.
Which is I've been like kind of like feeling it out a little bit. I haven't done anything yet, but like just sort of like long distance kind of feeling the vibes. I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what's going to happen.
We know that the CIA, who are clearly involved in spreading stories about Area 51, as we discussed in the podcast,
time and time again.
They also were doing lots of experiments with remote viewing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, after we did the Uri Geller episode of the podcast, we've had some strange fellas show up here.
You had
another one.
Saw someone 2 days ago.
2 days
I didn't
ago.
see anything. So just for reference, so we can just kind of talk about this again, after the Uri Geller episode, Greg and I both independently of one another saw the exact same man, and it happened in the weirdest way. I came downstairs to grab something out of the fridge, and we do have a fridge upstairs. It made us sound like we only have a fridge downstairs. It's weird. Anyway, I
this
came
is where
downstairs.
We keep the good drinks though, because it's the podcast.
This is the guest drinks, and I was pillaging the guest drinks is what was happening. And when I walked into the office, I was again thinking about something totally different, just whatever was going on in my head. I opened the door to the office, and immediately, as if it was like a cartoon cell that had been like put down, I immediately saw a man sitting in the desk that you can kind of see behind me in the podcast. It's right here. It has the reel-to-reel on it. I saw a man, an older man in a black suit and a tie. And he was sitting at the desk, and he just looked at me like this. But it happened so quickly, like within literally a blink, but it was so defined. And I just like, I played dumb. I was like, like I do this thing whenever I get really scared where like I whistle or I sing. And so I was like I just tried to play it cool. And I didn't say anything about it to Greg at all day long. I didn't say a thing to him because I was like, listen, it happened for a second. I have maybe an overactive imagination. I just wanted to like, if it happens again, I'll say something. If it doesn't, I won't say anything. That night, as we're both, our heads are on our pillows, we're just falling asleep. I'm like in that almost asleep phase. What did you say?
I went, oh, hey, I saw a man in the basement.
And I was like,
what?
Like,
she's like,
rising
what did he look
from
like?
the
And
dead.
I was like, well, he was an older man in a suit, and he was new. I've never seen him before. It was a different vibe. I hadn't felt it before. And I remember seeing him standing in the doorway of the office, and I went, I don't know who you are. You can hang out. Just don't be scary. And that was it.
I never saw him again. I never saw anything else again. I don't think you saw anything else again. Okay, so then the other thing is 2 days ago, Greg saw a woman.
I did.
In a black and white polka dot dress.
Like
almost from like the 50s,
like a bob,
like the 50s sort of. That was the same day.
Felt very Lynchian, very Twin Peaks.
Oh, really?
Very.
But you realize it was the same day that we heard that knocking?
Oh, fuck. I forgot about the knocking. Tell everyone about this shit.
We were sitting in the living room.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
We were sitting in the living room, and it happened 2 days in a row. We were sitting in the living room, and like literally as if someone was standing in the same room as us, we heard like someone was knocking, but it was
I thought someone was knocking at the door, and I'm like, this is too late for someone to be here.
Yeah, and we have a Ring cam, so like it would alert us if someone was at the door, let alone knocking on the door. There was nothing there. It was on the wall. Clearest, as if someone was going, hello, like literally.
You know, the only time that I've heard anything that loud was the crone at the apartment.
Oh, yes.
On the kitchen wall. That was the only time I've ever heard anything that loud and clear.
That happened on the same day that you saw the woman, and you saw the woman down here again. And I've not seen anything like that. So
I didn't. Here's the thing. I gotta say, I didn't get a bad vibe from her, and I didn't really even get a bad vibe from the guy.
no,
It felt more like somebody was checking
in. That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like someone was like, all right, let's take a little look around here. That's what it felt like to me.
Man.
But
So
the
anyway, there's
knocking
that
was
going on.
incredible. So
Yeah.
there has been some weirdness. There has been a little bit of weird, like pretty weird actually, you know, all things considered around. So I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know what to expect. And I'm just like I say before, we do this anytime. I'm just gonna experience what I experience. The discernment process comes afterwards. I'm not going to get in the way of anything too much. So I'm just going to describe everything I'm kind of feeling, seeing, experiencing. It might sound really wild. It might sound boring. Sometimes they're boring. Sometimes they're not that interesting. Sometimes I'm just like, sometimes I don't open the computer, open the laptop, and I should open the freaking laptop. I have done a remote viewing session where everyone was screaming at me because I was in someone's dilapidated house and there was a laptop on the kitchen table that I didn't open, and everyone was like scream, that has not let me live this down, that I didn't open.
You know better now.
I know better now, but sometimes they're not as interesting. And again, the bottom line is I don't like to get in the way of the process too much. I let it happen the way it happens, and then the discernment comes afterwards. So that's part of the process. So we're not going to get in the way of anything. I'm going to just kind of relay what I'm seeing, thinking, experiencing. And then independent of that, we'll use our muscles of discernment, energetic discernment, to figure things
out. Somebody asked who lived in your house last. This house has only been around since like the 80s. It's not very old. The people who lived here before us, aggressively normal.
Yeah, I don't think it has.
Normal.
I don't think it has anything to do with like the house.
No, I think somebody's. It's
something very independent.
They're peeping in on us.
The one thing that is fun though, that I will say, considering this house is not that old, when Greg was doing the ceiling tiles, because we have to have like soundproof ceiling tiles in here, he was putting in the new ceiling tiles, and when he popped one out, a pack of old menthol cigarettes from like the 80s or the 90s fell out, and so he was like, oh, he found somebody's stash.
Somebody's stash.
It was very funny.
Okay, so
yes,
we won't waste any more time.
No.
We'll get this show on the road. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time updating you guys because it has been a couple busy weeks. We'll get into it now. Dana's going to go out into the other room. We've got a camera already set up out there. Kind of show you.
Yeah.
She's got her goggles, her Gansfield goggles. She's going to be doing something called the Gansfeld experiment. If you're not familiar with it, it is a very old, like 1960s, 1970s psychical experiment where if you put ping pong balls over your eyes and you listen to white noise and some headphones and you have a bright red light shining on you, you will start to hallucinate. There are a lot of studies, parapsychological studies, that say that a lot of those hallucinations may actually be remote views. So we've started combining the two of those things together and used it to great effect for some of these remote viewing experiments. The ping pong balls got a little tough, so we made these goggles, which work the same way.
I look like Mothman.
You do. They're opaque. We'll still shine the red light through them.
It's so the monsters know that I'm good.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, she's one of us.
They always have red eyes. Why they always got red eyes?
I mean, there's a lot of folklore about red eyes.
Is that the same as the God helmet? No, much different actually.
You know, we haven't done the God helmet.
We'll plan a God
time.
helmet session.
I wouldn't mind juicing up a little bit at some point.
I'll juice
I haven't done the God. Do you know what we realized before the stream started? My head is like,
yeah, maybe you can settle this for us. Who's got the bigger head here?
My head is,
because I'm like Dutch,
my head
man.
Is,
I got a giant Dutch
so
head.
I have like a thin head, but it's long, and you have like, look at this.
Who's got the bigger head?
Look at how much bigger my head is than you.
I think your head's taller than mine. Mine is definitely wider than yours.
You're sitting. Hold on.
Look at that.
It's like twice the size, but I'm like, I got a good inch on you.
See, everyone's saying my head's bigger.
Get that?
Somebody said both. Both. All right.
It's wider.
Yes, I have a robust head.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
It's very barrel chested.
I have a barrel chested head.
One of the
That's a real nice way of saying I got a fucking bobblehead.
one of the funniest things, our friend Austin, he's from Indiana. He's a very like he's very sweet and funny, and
He's a country boy.
He's a country boy, and we went on a roller coaster with him, and I was sitting. It was him and I sitting next to each other, and as the lady was pushing the thing down over top of him, he went, "A very barrel chested, ma'am," because she was afraid that she wasn't pushing it down further enough. And so I always love the term barrel chested. It makes me happy.
All right, let's
right.
get this show on the road.
Oh,
you all right? Ooh. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go put the camera on the other. We'll see you in just a second. Hold on. Now you're sorry. It was my fault.
So I'm going to be listening to white noise. If you like to listen to different kinds, I know some people who like to listen to like pink noise or brown noise. That's totally fine. I just kind of prefer white noise, and I just use. If you want to try this yourself, I literally just use like a white noise black screen, no ads, because you don't want to like be in the middle of it and then have like better help like screaming in your ear. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to put my headphones in now. Should I do that? No, I'm going to do this first.
Well, you're going to have to press play, so you might as well do that first.
I know, but I'm going to do this because it looks cool.
You definitely look something.
I look cool.
Cool?
These are also very uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. Are they more or less uncomfortable than ping pong balls?
Way more
taped to your head. Really?
They press my face so hard.
They've got to.
Okay. All right. I'm just picking my sound level. I'm really like, sound can really bug me, so it kind of has to be perfect.
Gee, why would sound,
got it.
Why would sound bother her? All right, I'm going to shut this light off.
Can you do me a favor, Greg?
What?
Can you turn off that light? The overhead light?
Yeah, I'm doing that right
Thank
now.
you. Just trying to find a comfortable position that won't distract me. And then for the first few minutes, I'm probably going to be pretty quiet while I just get comfortable and kind of go with the flow. I also have a cat hair in my nose. Did you just touch? Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to sit this in my lap. Here we go. I'll hold it in my hand. It'll be very funny if I was holding it upside down.
Just letting you guys know I'm back. I'll be sitting here monitoring. You might not see me much or hear me much. I'm going to let this kind of be Dana's stream, but I will be here to monitor and write down anything interesting that happens. Answer your questions if you need me to. Yeah, so I know that
okay, now I'm just going to take a few minutes to relax and get into the right headspace.
Oh, a PDF on how to make the Ganzfeld goggles. These are so rudimentary. It's crazy. You can order these goggles with red lenses, and then I just took opaque like plastic shopping bags and then cut them into rounds and put them on top of the lenses on the inside so that you can't see anything through them. So it kind of makes that opaque sort of the same kind of sensation as you'd get from the ping pong balls. Super, super easy. They're just literally, I even hesitate to say it, just look up steampunk goggles or welding goggles. They'll work well. And they don't have to be red either. I just did that. So if we're in a spot where we don't have a red light, all we need is a regular light. If you have a red light, you can even spray paint over top of like white over top of the lenses, and that'll work too. Dana usually takes a couple minutes to get into it. April asked her eyes open or closed on the goggles. Well, the point of the goggles is that it won't matter if her eyes are open or closed. It'll look about the same no matter what. So the idea is almost to make it feel like you're in a womb. All you kind of see are opaque red backgrounds.
Definitely standing in a hallway. I am in a long white hallway. Where I'm standing, I can hear and see a set of automatic doors that are kind of like hissing as they open and close.
Ooh, is it a decontamination chamber?
They are made of glass. So, wait, there's writing on them. It says 95-110 W icon in orange paint, like stenciled. On the other side of this room, so the floors are white tile, plain white tile, walls white, ceiling white, overhead round lights punched into the ceiling. So there's good lighting. There's no one here. I don't see anyone. Beyond this door, so this hallway is long, and I across from this door there is a white door, like with a door handle, a regular door that is closed. There's nothing written on it at all. It's plain. There are a few more of the same style doors on the opposite side of the door that I am standing. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them in a row. They look like office doors. It's air conditioned. It feels really cold, but controlled. I'm gonna go into this lab. It's like a lab. It feels like a lab, but I don't. So I walk in. I just heard a little kid. I hear little kids. This is talking.
That's fucking creepy.
I don't see anything. I'm moving into this space. There's it almost looks like a oh, weird. So there's there's another set of doors on the directly across from it. So when you enter this room, you're in like a little square kind of chamber, but I can see through it. It's glass on all sides, and there are like jumpsuits, white off-white jumpsuits. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them hanging on hooks here.
Bill Uhouse said they called the
And
extraterrestrials
a tray for shoes.
the kids.
Weird. Okay, I'm going in.
At the base.
I see immediately. Oh God. Whew. Oh no. I just felt I felt like a shockwave on my right or my left side. Like a oh God, I heard it. I hear thunder now. Like a okay, I it feels kind of scary. Okay. I'm into the main room. There is what is that? There's 1, 2 long stainless steel desks. Hold on, let me just drop into myself again. Yeah, they have wheels on the bottom. They're there's the top part of the desk or table, and then there's an under part that is a like iron, a stainless steel bars for you to put things on. I guess there's nothing on them at all. Neither of them. There's 2 and they're right next to each other. They're long and sort of thin. There's what the this is so weird. There's a what is that? It's like
yes,
this is the creepiest shit. I'm just gonna say what I'm seeing. It reminds me of that scene at the beginning of Ghostbusters 2 when Egon is doing like weird tests to like little kids. Like where he's like, now take the puppy away. There's on the other side of the room, it's a longer room than it is dimensional, like wise depth. The depth of it is thinner. There is a glass mirror, like a 2-way mirror, and inside of the other room that separates it is a short kind of, I don't know, mid-thigh high bookshelves and a beanbag chair, a large black, no, it's green, a large green beanbag chair. There's a carpet and some building blocks on the floor. But there's no one in here. There's a door. Weird. That must be on the, so this room must connect to the room next to it, and there is because I can see that this other room has a door that you can enter. I can't get to it from my side. I'm just looking through a pane of glass at it. It's funny because the vibe in the room is much less. It's less sterile. It looks like a kid's like a kind of like a kindergarten classroom. It's like a classroom. Yeah, there's a chalkboard. It's a literal classroom, but it's not. It's a smaller classroom, but there's no one in there. I think. I'm gonna go back out into the hallway. All right, I'm moving through, back in the hallway.
Just to answer the question earlier, yes, I can see both chats. I can see Facebook and YouTube.
I'm scared. I don't know where to go. I'm gonna walk towards where the other room's door would be. I'm gonna walk further up here. There's no windows. I noticed that there's no windows in any of these rooms, like the room I was just in or the one that I was looking at.
Because you're
The
underground.
hallway doesn't have any windows.
This is deep beneath the earth.
Ooh, an elevator. I see an elevator.
There we go.
It has a... It has a like a card reader. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking down this hallway. All right, there's a like half flight of stairs that go that are at the end of this hallway that go down and then directly lead to kind of split where I can go left or right. I'm gonna walk down these stairs. Oh no, oh no.
No, Dana can't hear me. She only hears white noise.
Shit.
She can't hear or see anything. And she is alone.
Sorry, just give me a second. I felt that oh god, I felt that same kind of like a pulse coming down the hallway that I was just walking down. It's sort of strange. It's hard to describe. It's like you know when you hear and you can like feel like a really intense thunder, like you can kind of feel it rumbling in your bones. That it felt like a shock wave. There's no one here. I feel like I don't know why. My instincts keep telling me to go right. But I also think left looks a little bit more interesting. The right, the hallway to the right is shorter and then immediately takes a turn, and the left hallway is much longer. So I'm gonna walk to my right and look and see what's there. That's it's another flight of stairs and it looks like it goes further down. Gonna go back to the left and then come back if I have to. All right, I'm gonna walk, moving. I definitely feel like something knows what I'm doing. Like I feel it's weird. It's hard to describe and you're probably going to laugh at me. I can I keep seeing this like very distinct visual image of it's so strange. It's a large man's body in a gray like an ankle length gray jacket, almost like an old like police jacket. Like it makes me think of the like the bobbies, you know what I mean, like the like Jack the Ripper era coat. It's really gray, and then this is the weird part, its head looks like the alarm emoji, and it's spinning around,
Oh,
and it actually has a hat on top of it. So it's like a human shape with a head of a, like literally like with the alarm emoji.
maybe it
But
really
I'm
is like
not
a.
seeing it here, but I feel it. I feel it.
Maybe this is
And
like
I
a
keep getting
maze
images of it.
set up by the CIA to trap people who try to remote view in, because that sounds fucking goofy. That's the alarm emoji, if you're curious.
So this is so weird. This is the weirdest shit. I'm like playing a game of Zelda. It caught me. It caught me. And so the hallway around me flickered like it glitched, and now I like, okay, hold on, I'm sorry, just I know I'm all over the place, just give me a second. I'm in a totally different place now. This thing moved so fast, it came down the hallway where I was standing, and it's not that it touched me, but the second that it reached me, I like everything glitched around me, and when I could like reorient myself, I was in a completely different place, and now I'm in a giant hangar. It is dark. I know it's a hangar. I feel like, I mean, I think it is. It's not lit. Concrete floors, massive, massive room. I'm moving forward. I see a plane like in front of me. It looks gray. It's large, huge. It's just there.
I'm sitting here going, use your plane expertise, Dana.
I'm just gonna move around in here. Give me 1 second.
Here's a secret. Dana really doesn't know anything about planes, but she did memorize all that stuff in the last podcast. She did a killer job. We just kept trying to think of what's the funniest way to tell people about planes when most people probably.
Oh my God, there's another one. It's coming towards me. I don't know what to do. Okay. Are these like sentinels? Um, I'm in an office. I'm looking out the window. This is the weirdest, you guys. This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. I'm looking, I'm on an upper floor. I'm in like some regular office looking thing. I'm looking out the window. It's nighttime. I can see outside of the window from where I am that one of these sentinel things is standing like uh 50 feet away from me, but the light is shining out of its head, its big weird alarm head, a red laser, and it's like looking around. It's like the eye of Sauron, like it's just looking around. Probably looking for me. They're so boxy. They're so like they look like robots. Like they look like that robot from like that old show about space. But
Lost in space.
I don't think it can sense me. I think it just can see me. Or I don't think it has the ability to sense. I think it's just a like it feels like a Roomba, like it's just wandering around, just doing like looking for things that it doesn't feel sentient, if that makes sense. Or it kind of does, but it doesn't feels like it's just doing its job. It's not even it's just the red light out of its head is sweeping across the desert like ground. Like, oh my god, it can go so far. It can go for like miles. Like it's looking up in like the near like the mountainy areas. What? It kind of like floats when it walks. Like it doesn't have any there's nothing kind of human about it. It feels very robotic, feels very like but it has it's very menacing. It's very scary. They're huge. They're like I'd say like 7 foot tall. Really, really huge. You know what they remind me of? I know I'm using a lot of pop culture references. They remind me of the big robots in BioShock. Like they have that same kind of like energy. It's like sweeping its eyes. Oh my god, it's literally it saw something moving and now it's going towards it. I'm like literally standing here. So this okay, give me a second. Let me just I'm getting too worked up. It's moving across the desert or like the sand. It's moving across it. The office I'm in is dark. There isn't even a computer in here. There's it's just like it feels like a communal kind of small office space or something. It's not a big room. It's dark, but this thing is now it's following something. It's following a what? I feel like it's following someone. I wonder if there's somebody else doing this at the same time I'm doing this because it looked like a person made out of water. And it's still following them. Like they can't go crazy fast like it I wonder if there's somebody else remote viewing or doing the same kind of thing or something like that, because it's following. I'm watching it follow this like this human shape, but it's like liquidy, like it's like it's made out of like liquid metal kind of, or like, and now it's gone. Oh, I had to duck down. It okay, it caught it, and then it disappeared, and then it immediately stopped and turned around and shone the light like back in this direction, and I feel like it saw me. Okay. It's coming back here. It's coming back in this direction. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. It's coming. It's coming. I am like probably 2 floors up. I'm gonna move to a different place. I'm leaving this room. This hallway is not the same. It is kind of like flat carpet. Weird. It's like I'm moving down the hallway. I'm gonna find this is like regular office space. Like this is not this doesn't look anything like a lab, or like, this just looks like a communal office space. I'm just kind of like quickly moving down this hallway as fast as possible. There's nothing on the walls, just boring, generic kind of hallway. It has like this flat, old, like 80s kind of pressed carpet. That stuff that they use to like, they used to use. Okay, I'm at the end of the hallway, the other opposite end of where it makes a sound. It makes a really scary, really it's a high pitched sound, like like it's like a bat's sonar, or like a sonar sound. I'm moving again. I'm just kind of like quickly kind of moving around this office space. I'm gonna go down this there's a staircase here. I'm gonna go down the staircase. So concrete stairs, metal, gray, round shaped handle, banister. Moving down. I'm just gonna go all the way down. Concrete. Everything's concrete. Like feels like a parking garage. Moving down. Oh no! Oh no! I heard it. I'm going all the way down. On the bottom floor. All right, I'm outside. I'm outside. I'm moving along the side of the building. What the fucking shit?
If her camera moves, it's because the camera's situated right in front of her and she probably touched it with
this
her
is so scary. I just saw a UFO fly over the mountain range. I'm like I can't even stop and like appreciate this because I just don't want to get caught, because I feel like I'm seeing a lot. Okay, I'll describe it in a minute. I'm just continuing. I'm sticking to the wall. I'm just moving along the side of this building. I'm trying to like get as far away from it.
It's a spy thriller tonight, everybody.
A corner. Okay, I see. I turn this corner. This is a smaller building. There are from what I can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 longish kind of buildings, maybe more, but they're not that huge. They're kind of like all next to each other. All right, I'm moving. Oh, there's a picnic table between them. There's a little picnic table area and like a garbage can, metal garbage can. Oh! It's nighttime. It's cold. I don't see any people. Okay, give me a second. I want to say this before I get too much further. When I came out of the door, half a mile, maybe more, it had to have been more, like a mile of flat land from where I was standing. There is sort of like a bit of a ridge, and I watched a like classic saucer UFO go up into the air and then disappear over the side of the mountain. It had red lights. It sounds like it reminds me of the one that you described, Greg, like red porthole lights. It looked saucer shaped. I'm literally just like hiding by this picnic table. Oh, it moved. It passed me. I don't think they can sense things. I think they can only see things because I am standing with my back pressed against this building, and it moved past me on my right hand side, and it like overtook me, and now I'm assuming further down the length of these like row buildings, and I am shit. I don't want to go look, but I'm afraid it's going to come around the other side and see me. Okay. No. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Just give me 1 second.
This is real weird because I think we can take a guess that there's no.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna just chance it.
There's no alarm-headed entities wandering around Area 51, and it's interesting.
I'm gonna go back to the side where I came from, and I'm gonna run out into the desert.
That it's empty,
so I can turn around and watch.
So I wonder if this is a projection of something.
else. It's not there. I'm gonna go for it. Fuck. Maybe I shouldn't do that. God damn. No, I'm not gonna do that. It'll see me. What do I do? I feel like okay, I'm gonna so on the opposite side from where I came, I'm realizing right now there's actually more buildings on the other side. I'm gonna move across to those buildings. I'm going for it. I'm gonna just okay. All right, here. Oh man. Whew. All right, I'm going. I'm not even gonna look behind me. I'm just gonna go. I'm heading towards a building right now. It's a larger building. It looks like it's much larger than the ones that I was just in. It looks like it could be a hangar. It is not super tall, but tall, but not as tall as the other buildings. It's very wide, very kind of like very thick, like perfect for an airplane. I'm moving across. I'm getting close. I don't hear anything behind me. I'm moving. There is a okay, I'm going. Okay, so there are a bunch of set of doors here, and there is also one large, massive like garage door. I'm moving past that right now. This building looks like it is tan. All the buildings are tan. Like sand colored. There are no windows on any of the floors of the buildings that I was just looking at, except the very top floor, which is where I must have been. There is one window per office or whatever those are. So there's 1, 2, 3. Three windows on each side, but only on the top level. I'm moving past here. Oh God. There's like a, okay. God. I'm moving. I'm just trying to find like a place I can kind of like tuck away that I'm not like standing. I see more of those like water people. There's another one. Oh my God. It's a human shape, arms, legs, head, liquid, like a liquid metallic water person. They are
Like in the abyss.
standing on a roof. Oh, a huge, like, what? The whole space just pulsed, and a huge spider web like raked across all of the buildings. Like it went like it was scanning this the space, and it just kind of like pulsated, and then this this like scan pulsed right past me, right past through all the building, through everything. Like I am I'm standing in a small, there's a door to this building, and there's almost like like it's pushed in a little bit. There's like a concrete, one small concrete step, and like a little bit of coverage, and I'm just sort of like there's no light above me, so I'm standing here in this like little alcove next to this door, just kind of seeing what I see. Let me take this opportunity to drop in a little bit again. You know, it's weird. I've never noticed this before. I just noticed this right now. I can see my body. I just looked down and I saw that I'm wearing a jumpsuit and black running shoes. Okay, give me 1 second. This door is open. I'm gonna go in here. In a building, the lights, everything's turned off. There's no one here. It's just so bizarre. Okay, I walk in.
Can I tell you what this makes me think of? You guys remember that made-for-TV Stephen King movie, The Langoliers? That's kind of what I'm feeling from all of this, if that makes any sense to you. The Langoliers. Everyone was gone. Everything was empty. It was almost like a parallel dimension or something.
So I immediately have the option to either go downstairs or to go upstairs. It's not like there isn't like an office desk or like It's just like if you go into this building, you're going in because you know where you're going, if that makes sense. There's no spot to be like directed. There's nothing on the walls. That's interesting. So, there is a door with a key thing, like a card key. For the one that goes upstairs.
I wish I could tell her to check
Uh-oh,
her
oh god,
jumpsuit.
it's outside the door. I don't know what to do.
Maybe she has a card key in the jumpsuit. Maybe she's in somebody else's body.
They move really quick. It's so weird. Oh, it came inside and now I'm. Give me a second. God, that's frustrating.
Does anybody else?
I'm somewhere else. God.
It feels like a training simulator
Give me a sec.
for remote viewers. Like if she can figure out how to get to the center of the maze, she wins.
This is a massive. Okay. Give me 1 sec again. I'm in a huge room. There are small overhead lights, but they're very dim. They're kind of like security lights. This room is a massive black swimming pool or a float tank, but it's huge. Huge. The water is black, like ink. And the ceiling, the whole room is painted black. Like this room is huge. It's enormous. It's like an Olympic sized swimming pool. It's humongous. But imagine that with no, there's just these like overhead kind of dim red lights that just sort of light the space a little bit, and then a massive pool of water. Everything in here is painted black. There's a piping and like it's a very industrial room. It feels very industrial, but everything in it is painted black.
Amazing.
It's really weird. I'm seeing the room in another time. Like I see it as it is, and then I see overlaid over top of it. It looks like people people use it before flights. Like they're using it to prepare them for flying. The water is it's salt water. It's warm. It's like room temperature. This is a giant
float
deprivation
tank.
tank for like you could put 100 people in here.
Holy shit.
This room has such a relaxed, intentional energy in it. Like I want to get in the water so bad. So I'm looking, interestingly enough, I'm looking at this pool and I'm seeing a different time period, and I'm seeing people in it, but they're wearing like scuba gear almost, like wetsuits. Their heads are, they have like swimming caps on their heads. This is like Minority Report. There's it's interesting. There's now that I'm looking closer, there's like symbols carved, or not carved, but like tiled into the pool edge, like around the edging around the pool, and they look like it kind of looks like to me, and maybe I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but it looks like Theban or Theban. I don't know what it means, but that's what it looks like to me. The pool has a like the minute I just noticed right now, I noticed that the water started to undulate kind of gently back and forth, like it's meant to kind of like rock the person. I heard the doors open. Oh man, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move. I'm moving. It's it's one of those water people. It just got in the water. It just like merged back into the water. Okay. That was it. It didn't do anything. It just went into the water. This is like to me it feels like people either use this before or after flying something. Flying.
This is the Theban alphabet, if you're curious.
What's weird is it feels like a I don't know how best to describe it, but it has like a temple vibe to it. Like it feels intentionally rich, like there's ritual here. Maybe not on purpose, but it feels like it has that ritual architecture. The water is undulating like back and forth, like rocking back and forth. I can I just noticed there's like a flight of stairs that goes up to almost like a rafters, like kind of like audience seating. That's what's weird, but like there's some what appears to be seating up here. Everything is painted black again. Like it's hard for me to sort of see around in here because I only have like a few overhead, very dim red lights. So I'm going up the stairs right now. I'm going up. There's like wooden. No, they're not. They're like benches, like long black benches to sit on. Oh, I do notice up here now that I'm up here, there are some windows. They have like a tainted it's tainted glass, but I can see outside of like the building. I see like it's nighttime. I can see more tan buildings, so I think they're tan. Um I'm just trying to kind of get my bearings and see where to go next. See a helicopter. A black helicopter. It's coming in landing there's a huge space between the building that I'm in and then the ones that are across from it, like a long distance between there and here. There's a black helicopter kind of landing slowly. It's kicking up all sorts of sand and dust.
Wouldn't it be awesome if Uri Geller got out of it?
Shit. A bunch of dudes jumped out of it. What do I do? 3 guys, 3 people, black helmets too. I think they're just gonna get. I thought they were coming in here for me. This is so weird. People keep getting in this water. Should I get in the water? You're gonna make me get in the water. They just came in and just walked down into the water and disappeared. All right, give me 1 second. I just want to get more comfortable. And I'll go in the water.
Oh shit. Here we go. She's gonna go through a fucking portal somewhere. My favorite comment tonight is, holy shit, are all of the streams this crazy? Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna drop in again.
The remote viewing ones definitely are for sure. We only do these ones once in a while, just because they take a lot out of Dana and they're very hard to quantify. But my God, it's better than going to the movies. Unless you're going to see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which fucking slapped.
Okay, I'm moving back down. I'm moving down the stairs, back down. The water is looks like ink, like it really is incredibly dark. It's really beautiful. Like, I should also mention that was the first time I saw like what looked like human beings, or at least like it looked like human beings. I'm gonna get in. I want to. It feels very enticing, like warm and comforting. Okay, so I am halfway in. I still have my upper half out. I'm kind of just like holding onto the edge, just sort of feel it. It feels weird. It doesn't feel like, it feels thicker than water a little, like the consistency is a little thicker. It doesn't smell. It definitely has like salt in it or something. Because I can feel that I feel buoyant, which is strange because those other people just sort of like sunk in and disappeared. All right, I'm gonna let go. I'm just gonna float on my back. I feel like this feels crazy. Wow. Oh man. Above me, I'm floating on my back. I'm kind of like swimming on my back a little bit. And above me, I just noticed now that I'm in the water, the ceiling is undulating. Like there's like a projection of the stars. They're moving. Yeah, like the planets, like the solar system. It's like a telescope. Like a huge. Wow. The water feels, I can feel it like cradling my head. And it feels really warm and oh, weird. I just felt myself being pulled in, like under it, under the water, but I can still see the where I'm at. I don't feel like I'm suffocating or anything like that. I'm submerged in this liquid. Looking up, I can see it isn't it's water. Like it just looks like it's not because this room is so dark, but I can see through it and I can still see the stars, but they're kind of glimmering in the oh weird. Oh my god. I'll describe it to you in just a second. So the water rocks you back and forth. It's like a wave pool kind of like it feels like it's meant to help you release. Just give me 1 second. I'm in an airplane. I'm flying an airplane. I'm flying an airplane. I'm literally in the cockpit flying an airplane. My hands are on the thing. I'm going so fast. Oh my god. I have a helmet on. I have a oh my god, I just did a flip. I'm flying over the mountains. I'm flying. It's the desert. I'm flying one of the planes. It is. I'm flying it with my consciousness. Like the plane is part of me. I don't know how to describe this. It's so hard. It looks like a plane, and my hands are on. It's like a wheel, but it feels more like two pedals. So my fingers, my bare hands, I'm not gloved, fit into these two pedals that can turn but also go back and forth. And they
Sounds like
fit
Flight of the
my
Navigator.
fingers and my hands perfectly. And I control the plane through micro movements. And there are I can feel inside of my helmet there are like electrodes that connect to my brain. I am I'm flying. It seems like it's dusk or dawn. And I'm not even like I'm not even having to, oh god. Just marking this, I like physically felt the chair move. That's why I freaked out. Okay. Give me a second. So the best way I can describe this is that this is like the most micro movements you could possibly imagine. Like I almost don't even need to move my fingers, let alone my hands, like a millimeter. It's as if the machine intuits the direction that I'm trying to go in, but there is an element of physiology to it. Like there is an element of me having to kind of engage with my body, but I'm not, when I say micro movements, I mean like the most minuscule, almost just having to think it and it naturally goes in that direction. And I am literally just flying over top of uh desert, just open desert. This thing is just a rocket ship. Oh my god. But what's weird is I'm in complete control. I don't feel afraid. This thing feels like an extension of my body. I can make it do anything. I can literally like fly. I literally just did like a 90-degree turn directly up into the sky and I'm just like flying into space right now. Oh my god. I can like stop. I can hover. It's like a hummingbird. I'm literally just floating here. It's it's making a small sound like the only other thing I can think to describe is that it feels sort of like humid. Like there's, it's warm, like there's a, like an element of this is like steam or I don't know, moisture.
Like it's alive, like you're inside of a
Oh my,
living thing.
I can like, I can do like barrel rolls. I feel like a bird. Like it feels, that's what this feels like. It feels like I think as close to like actually flying as you possibly could be. Cause it feels like I'm just in, like there's no limitations to the directions I can go, how I can move my, it feels like an extension of my body, like I'm in a, like an avatar. There's this is incredible. I feel like I'm just flying through the air, like I can physically fly, but I'm, and like it feels strange. It feels like the machine kind of, it like, it almost feels like the machine hugs you, like it holds you in place. It's so strange. I see it's pretty dark. It's I think it's like night. But like what's weird about it is without having sight, I feel like I still know where everything is. Like I'm not afraid I'm gonna fly into the side of like a higher peak, or I feel like I innately like know somehow. Like it's so weird. It's so hard to describe. It feels like there's a physicality to this, but also there's a consciousness aspect of it because I feel like I have to control it using my consciousness, but also using my body. But the experience of flying feels like it's just my body. There's a kind of a perfection there. Like it feels like the perfect middle ground. Um, I can look around inside. You know what I realize all I'm doing is making like pop culture and movie references. I feel like I feel like what are they called? I feel like one of the pilots in Alien. Like I feel like one of the pilots in Prometheus. Like it I almost feel like I'm asleep. Like to control this you have to be unconscious. Cuz it feels really biological. Feels very cuz I'm trying to like look around me and I'm realizing that the position that I'm in is almost completely flat on my back. Like I literally look like I'm in the same position that the what are they called? Those like giant pilots.
The engineers.
Is it the engineers?
Hey, look at that. You're
That's the
psychic.
position I'm like laying almost all the way on my back, but yet I can still see all around me perfectly. And I feel that the helmet is actually, oh, that's so interesting. The helmet is built into the chair, just like the one that I described. And you put your head into the helmet. Like you slip into it, but the helmet is connected to the machine itself, and that's how this works. I'm piloting this thing with my brain. And it's giving me this like completely unconscious conscious experience, like almost like a hallucination, but it's so physical, like it's so rooted in physicality. Like I can when I'm flying, I know exactly like where the wind, I know everything. Like I know how fast I'm going. I know what the wind direction is. I know like I feel like if I consciously was like I'm going to fly to New York City from here, I'd immediately know how many miles away it is, how fast I have to go, what my variables are. Like it feels so strange. Space jockeys, that's what they were. I feel like a space jockey. Wow. Cuz I'm trying to like look around in the machine and I'm realizing that like it's there's nothing really to look around in. I'm in like a cocoon sort of, almost flat on my back with my head inside of the helmet which is attached to the entire ship. It's piloted by one person. I don't feel like there's anyone else in here with I feel like this is a singular experience. God, it feels otherworldly. It does not feel I feel like I am in a spaceship. Like I'm flying a spaceship right now. Did I just hijack a spaceship? Am I gonna Oh my god. What's funny is there's like nothing around. I'm just literally just flying around in the desert. Like I know exactly how far I am. I know exactly how have to get back. I'm not scared of getting lost. I'm not scared at all. It feels exhilarating. It's so cool. I feel like I'm in VR. I want to see how far up I can go. Oh, I can go. Oh my God. Oh, oh my God. I'm like, I can see the curvature of the planet. I'm gonna, I literally feel like I'm like leaving the Earth's atmosphere right now. Like, and this thing can go as fast as you want it to go. Like, it doesn't have any limitations. I feel like you can just, like, it's made to do this. I'm going to go back down. I can see the curvature of the planet. I am like up here. I should take out one of Elon's satellites. You know what's funny too?
Very pertinent.
What's weird is I also don't feel like this is a weapon. Like I don't feel like I have like a gun or anything. It doesn't feel like that. I'm just sort of floating here in the atmosphere. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever experienced. Oh my God, I can hear something. Hold on. I heard like a, it sounded like an 80s robot computer. Like it went. I'm going to go back down. I just feel like I'm skydiving. But I have no fear at all. It's just purely exhilarating. I'm coming back down again. That is incredible. Oh my God. I just popped up out of the pool and I felt myself literally gasp air. Like I'm floating on my back again. I'm not in the machine, back in the pool. As a second, my what I felt like the second I felt like I landed, like I put feet on the ground or wheels on the ground, I felt myself gasp for air, but not like it's a really it just feels very nice. Like that whole experience felt very did not feel taxing on my energy. It didn't feel overwhelming. It felt very organic, very natural. You know what's weird? I'm not even wet. I pulled myself up and out of the water and I don't have my clothing isn't damp. My hair isn't damp. It's like a membrane.
It's a real creepy way to describe that. like a membrane. It's strange. It's almost like maybe it's not even a physical craft. Maybe it's
I'm
some
just sitting here.
so weird. Not how I expected this to go. But is it ever? Really strange. The fact that there's still no people around is weird. It's another thing that's like,
I'm going to remind me when we're done. I'm going to draw a crude map of the first location and then what I can see out of this, what I saw out of the windows.
yeah, it's like they're
I'm underground now.
it's like somebody's allowing
I,
this or guiding this or showing this, I think. Like this is a
I went through a
projection.
door. I just realized it's weird. It wasn't like it was just an archway that goes down. Immediately everything's concrete. So lights on either side, strip lights to show you your way. I'm walking down concrete steps, kind of in a tube sort of rounded archway ceiling. It's a little constrictive. Not too much though. I'm heading down and the stairs are starting to turn to the right, but I'm still descending, continuing, descending. Okay. To the right, another set of the stairs kind of continue on down, and to the left, there is a tunnel that continues straight. I'm going to walk down the tunnel. There's nothing here. There's, again, the kind of safety lights. Everything's concrete. The floor is flat with an arched concrete walls and ceilings above me, just kind of carved out. Lights, crude lights. Not a lot of them. It's not super bright. Weird. This room. Okay, so at the end of this hallway, it turns to a large open space. I think it's probably, looks like it's about half the size of a gymnasium, like a school gym, and it has gigantic computers, like taller than my head, like just bricks, like giant. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, huge, and each one has 1, 2, 3, 4 each. So each one of those giant bricks has like 4 giant like square compartments. They're each a sort of square, almost rectangly. Massive computers just covered in like wires. Everything's kind of like, it's just like a massive amount of like wires, and I don't know anything about computers, so I'm not going to be helpful, but they're massive wire covered cubes, giant cubes. The room is really cold. Like this is like a freezer. Like they have have to have, like, this has to be like a freezer temperature. It's like freezing cold in here.
It's coolant for the computers because they probably run pretty
I
hot.
can feel them like humming, like they're on, they're doing something. And there's 6 of them, but each one has 4 connected but separate squares. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody. So each of them is on a concrete slab. Like, there's underneath it is a giant, almost rectangular sort of square concrete slab that's about a little over half a foot thick. They're raised off the ground. There's massive cables running from each of them kind of together. Massive, like the size of your leg. Like, the cables are wrapped in black, I'm assuming to protect them, but each one of the 6 computers has multiple of these giant thick cables running out of them, and it's all collected individually from each of the 4 separate things. I just got another shockwave. I just noticed this, that against the wall there are it looks like there's more of them, but they're like in cages. But again, more like just a gigantic humming machine. I don't know what they're doing, but it's cold as shit in here. Like, it's weirdly cold.
The detail that's so weird to me is Dana doesn't know
Everything
anything about
is,
computers.
I mean, it's very neat, very organized. It feels like this is very important.
She wouldn't know that computers have to be cooled, particularly really
I'm
fast
gonna
ones.
go back down the hall and go down the stairs. There's nothing like there is it's a fire extinguisher on the wall. Okay, I'm gonna go down the hall. I'm going back where I came. Okay, there now on the other side there's more steps that look like they go down further to, again, turning. I feel like I'm definitely like, these are stairs that have been carved in like a coil, so I'm going further down. I can hear people talking now.
Let's go. What are they saying? Here we go.
Give me 1 second. I just need to readjust my goggles.
Remote viewer or steampunk cosplayer said that. Just give me a second. I need to adjust my goggles.
Okay. Felt something. This is a huge underground base. I'm I'm looking at gigantic trucks. Like giant military style trucks. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. 10 all lined up next to each other. I could hear people, but I don't see people. They're giant trucks with camo, like desert style camo vinyl coverings. Almost like giant dump trucks, kind of. And they're not moving, they're just parked here. This feels like honestly,
Your
like a
quantum computer.
storage room. Because I'm noticing now other vehicles. Oh, white pickup trucks. I see a whole bunch of white pickup trucks. Oh my God, I see like 50 white pickup trucks. There's so many of them. There's no one here. It's a huge underground like hangar full of vehicles. Like, but they're none of them look like like they look like regular modern like necessity vehicles, like trucks and like big huge trucks, pickup trucks. But it's not like, I don't feel like this is like where you go to get them. I feel like this is storage for something. So this is just a giant, it's like, if it's, what's interesting about this is a concrete like room. I don't know if I'm still underground. I have to be underground. Can you build something like this underground? It's huge. It's huge. Like oh God. Oh no, there's one of those things. I'm moving. I'm just running away. I'm running past vehicles. I'm running past kind of cruising past trucks, and I can hear it. I can hear it. Oh my God, it's literally it's so frustrating. Give me a second. I'm at the little alien. It kicked me out. I'm literally at the little alien right now. I'm standing outside of it, or I'm remote viewed outside of it. I can see closed, or it looks closed. It's kind of quiet. I can see a campfire. It's quiet.
think she's upset.
Just give me a second.
I just felt, just so you guys know, I just felt like a wave. Like I feel like I'm gonna cry. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what she's seeing or who she's seeing.
I just saw.
I bet she sees Glenn.
I just really clearly I just saw Glenn's face. He didn't like, I think I just visualized him really quickly. It could have even just been me subconsciously projecting it. It was just a very like very nice moment. I could like I was sort of like looking up like at the stars, and it just sort of extended out of the sky, and then it went back in again, and it was just sort of like a smiling content face. Like a hologram.
I think I might. She seems like she may be slowing down a little bit.
I can hear you know what's funny? I'm standing here. I feel like I'm standing here. I'm standing by the big white UFO, and I can hear physically in my ears what sounds like, and I don't know, I've never watched an episode of Star Trek in my life, but I think I know what the theme music sounds like. Or something like that. And I feel like I can hear the theme music, but it's like on an old television. I'm just sort of hearing it quietly, like as if I'm hearing it from somewhere else.
That's the big white UFO she's talking about. I'm not crying. You're crying. I think I might maybe give her 10 minutes. Sounds like she's slowing down, and then we'll bring her in and talk to her about it.
I think if it's all right, I probably would. I'll probably stop here
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab
for
her.
tonight.
I'll be right
anyway.
back.
Oh my god, all these tears just fell out of your goggles.
They were stuck in there.
Oh, well, you made everybody cry.
I felt them. I felt them all build up in there.
All right,
Do you want to take
if
this?
you want to take a little break?
Yeah,
for a
just
second,
give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, go
I'll be right
back
there.
I'll man the right back. Well, that was interesting. Oh man, I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe we'll talk about this with Dana a little bit, but I think yeah, what a nice way to end that. You know, we spent so much time going through Glenn's stuff. It's hard not to have felt like you formed a connection with this person. And you know, I never knew Glenn. I never had any communication with him. I knew of him, and I mean, I've known of him for a long time, since Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends, and it's a surreal experience to feel like you're getting to know somebody afterwards. You know, you're looking at their intimate things, you're going through, you know, because some of the stuff in storage was stuff that's just sentimental value, like love letters and things. That's a small portion of it, but there were some sentimental things in there. And it's hard not to feel like we knew him, and hard not to feel like we've formed this really weird, maybe it sounds very parasocial, but a very weird relationship with this guy that we didn't know. Just pouring through all of his things, looking at his letters, you know, knowing how he spoke about things. Welcome back.
Thanks. Good. My eyes are all squished.
I'm wearing glasses, so you can't quite see. Yeah, I was just saying that it's strange to feel so emotional about Glenn
Yeah.
because we never met him, but
No.
we're going through all of his stuff, we're reading his letters, we're getting to know him in a very intimate way.
Yeah.
And I feel, you know, I can feel a sense of camaraderie with him because, you know, it's like the end of the last podcast that we recorded. You understand the frustration that he felt, you understand the drive that he felt,
Mhm.
and you understand that all started with a curiosity about
Yeah.
UFOs.
Yes.
And I feel that so well because, I mean, you guys, if you've been museum members long enough, you've heard all of my rants. You know that every good thing that's in my life has come out of the paranormal. So when I see it being abused, or I see people using it to hurt people or take advantage of people, it bothers me a lot. And so in that way, I feel an affinity for Glenn because I
Mhm.
feel like he really felt the same way about the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you feel about that? Because that was real weird. That wasn't, I mean, they're always weird, but this was, you know, fucking alarm headed entities
I
shooting
mean,
lasers and stuff.
It wasn't late. So I don't know how. Like, it's so strange, but they felt like an alarm system.
Oh yeah. Well, that's kind of what we were talking about in the chat. Is it almost feels like what you were experiencing
Yeah.
was a maze or a test
Yeah.
or something that's there to distract you
that's
from
a-
what's actually going on. Because
Yeah.
there's probably a whole lot of people, particularly the Russians,
Well,
that are trying to remote view into Area 51 all the time.
what I thought was interesting was there it felt so I went in, obviously again, I afterwards, like that's when the discernment process starts, right? So while it was happening, I was even questioning. I was like, am I in like is this a trick? You know what I mean? Like, is this like, again, if we're talking about people who are actively and who have actively been using, like, that's
a supercomputer.
That's what they looked like.
You know why it was cold? Computers that run like that have to be cooled. So it's probably in a big refrigerated
That's
room.
what it literally, like, I felt like, you know, when it's freezing cold outside in the winter and you step outside and you, like, being Canadian, I know what this feels like, but like, you know, when that freezing, like, frigid temperature enters your lungs, you're just like, oh, that's what they look like. Oh my God.
Kristen Butcher did
These
that.
are so, it's exactly what he looked like.
Isn't that great?
Long black, or gray trench coat, long. And its head literally looked like the emoji, but like physical. Like it wasn't like an emoji.
Right.
And it would, like, it wasn't lasers, but it was like, it literally would have like light that would come out of it and extend for like a mile, and it would just go like it was moving around, like looking
like a sentry.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what it looked like.
It's weird because it felt like a video game.
It did kind of feel like a video game. And that made me suspicious.
Metal Gear Solid, like hiding and stuff.
I was like, am I in like and like, maybe again, maybe the whole thing, maybe that's what it was. But like I'm telling you, this plane, whatever this thing was, it's like I had to like sink into this water, and the second I like released and I like sunk away from the surface,
that was the coolest fucking part.
I went boop, like I immediately felt my head going into this like literal space jockey.
So do you think that the whatever it was, you were in like the conduit to like mentally connect with the craft?
Yeah.
So the craft is maybe technically unmanned.
I think your physical body has to be unconscious.
Fuck,
and I think
maybe
your
they can't be driven by
I don't think
beings.
it is, because what I'm telling you, it like the helmet came down just like a space jockey. It had like a big thing in the front. My arms were like this in front of me and on these like pedals.
Yeah.
And like my fingers slid perfectly into them.
Remember Flight of the Navigator?
I've never seen it.
What?
I've never seen it. I don't know. Anyway,
I know what we're watching tonight.
Anyway, it's like literally like the most minuscule micro movements. Like not even. It literally doesn't feel like, it feels like I'm thinking, and your body just sort of like knows how to use it. But literally like
Cooper had a gay gas. It's amazing. It's like one of my favorite childhood films.
I've never seen it.
It's about a kid who's basically taken to Area 51 and then pilots a UFO and drives around the country, and there's a robot, like an 80s robot that runs it. And you know how he controls it? Micro movements on two pedals.
I swear.
And they fucking cruise all over the fucking planet while listening to the Beach Boys. It's fucking awesome.
Unbelievable.
God damn. We're watching that tonight.
So that's what it was. It was like, I felt like a space jockey.
Sarah Jessica Parker's first role, Rob says.
Oh,
she's in that. That's right. I had such a crush on her back in the day.
But yeah, I feel like there's an element where it's like your physical body has to be like your consciousness is not necessarily in your body, but your body has to be in something to enter the ship.
Yeah.
Like your body's like floating.
Fuck, that's
this,
so
like,
cool.
This weird viscous fluid, like that's kind of just rocking you back and forth and like getting you into like a trance state. And then suddenly you're like you just enter this thing, and all you do is just sort of like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm flying. Like that's it. It's just, you're just like looking around, moving.
It sounds fucking awesome.
I shot up into the atmosphere and I could see the curvature of the planet. And then you know what I did? As I came down, I was just like literally just flying down. And the second my feet or whatever it was, like touched the surface, like grounded with the earth.
So when the thing landed,
I went
you were
like this. I was
popped
like
back. You literally gasped. You went.
I was coming up out of like a foot and a half of water. And as my face crested the water, I literally went, like I could feel myself gasping for air. But it's not like it's like I didn't need it when I was under there. You know what I mean? Like I didn't
Yeah.
need the oxygen when I was under there.
Fuck, that's crazy.
But like it was so intuitive. I could kind of like, it's weird because it was like engaging two parts of my brain. It was intuitive and it felt like a biological thing, but I could, while I was in the ship, stop and like kind of look around me a little bit. Like I could see, oh, my fingers are in these things, but I didn't need to know that they were in the things to move it.
right.
I was just moving myself around intuitively,
right.
like flying around intuitively. But if I kind of came back a little bit, I'd be like, oh, my hands are in like these things. And if I go like this, I really go this way or this way. It's as if you don't need to physically man it because it knows how to do it based on what you're thinking and where you're moving. And consciously. Like you just consciously do it, even though, and your body's kind of like doing the micro.
I mean, it feels like that would make sense, right?
Yeah.
Like biological craft.
But I don't feel that my physical body was inside of it. My physical body was floating in a giant Olympic-sized pool of viscous fluid. Man. Like that had all the script around the outside of it. Like, to be honest with you, it did have a like temple kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
it
you
had,
said
like,
there was like what looked like Theban
Yeah.
script all around.
all
it.
around the like the pool. So imagine the pool. It was an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It was massive, and so all along the outer rim of the pool, in tile, was all of this different kind of script that went all the way around the pool. I don't know if it's like a protection thing or what, but like it was all the way around the outside of the pool, and I didn't feel anything weird from like I could
Keep talking. I'm gonna grab you a piece of paper because you said you wanted to draw a map.
I did not feel in that room specifically. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anxiety. I didn't feel anything. But I also like, I don't know. It just didn't. That was a really enjoyable experience. It felt
cool as hell.
It felt really enjoyable. And then like, I feel like I had kind of generic, like sort of mundane other things where I'm like, oh, I'm in a big room full of trucks. I'm in a big room. You know, the weird one was the first one though, where I saw that like school or like, would they have schools there? Would that make sense? Like, would there be kids? Would they?
I don't think so.
You wouldn't
It's
like
liability.
You wouldn't like.
Risk. But do you remember what Bill Uhouse called the Greys?
No.
He said that the people at the base called them the kids. They refer to them as the kids.
Here, just pass me that Sharpie.
Those are silver. Let me find it.
I think I probably have one in there. That's fine.
Like this fucking
Yeah.
monster?
Yes.
The biggest?
Yeah.
What about this one?
That's fine. Okay. So I'm going to draw this really quick.
People are asking you how you ground after doing something like this.
So after this, I'll eat something and I'll watch something. Like I'll engage with something that feels funny and silly and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of like slowly allow myself to just sort of release that. And then before I go to bed, I'll do a little bit of meditating, just kind of grounding, just sort of releasing it. And then I'll like kind of do, I'll do like a little bit of protection and like that kind of stuff. But mainly it's just I'll eat food, which really helps me ground. And then I like to like watch things that are funny or watch things that make me feel good. Like one of the things that I do want to mention, because this was a technique that I really...
Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it? Happy birthday!
Thanks for ringing it in with us.
One of the things that I have noticed recently that has been really, really helpful, if there's any remote viewers out there, I won't gatekeep my good my good experiences or
your good techniques.
My good techniques. Thank you. One of the things that I find.
Listen, do you know how expensive remote viewing classes are?
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
I'm
when
gonna
I say
give you
like
the goods
thousands
right now.
of dollars.
One of the things that I've started doing that I have found really beneficial. So if anyone is remote viewing or like practicing, I have noticed that if you take a moment and you constantly come back to that inner child play. So like I'm exploring. Like I try to
Yeah.
smile. I try to remember that, like, be playful with this experience. Like just bring it back to that sense of play and that inner child, and then go and explore. And I find that I get less overwhelmed and I have more of a kind of robust experience because I'm engaging with that like inner sense of playfulness. So like when you feel like, you know, you're getting chased by something scary or whatever, just pause, come into your body. So just come into your body, into the seat of your kind of self, and then kind of smile. As weird as it sounds, smile internally and really kind of just engage that playfulness that you have as a child, and then go back into the experience.
I feel like that's the general key to all paranormal phenomena too.
Yeah.
Is having fun, reminding yourself that you're playing, which is why it's like, don't take it too seriously.
Yep. You can take it seriously later when you're discerning everything, when you're researching everything, then you can be as serious as you want to be, and you should be serious. But in the moment, bring it back to play as much as you possibly can. So the buildings that I was in.
Damn, $700 for a remote viewing class.
That's the one thing that's really been helpful for me. And I'll always share everything that really I find beneficial. This is so dumb, but like I came out here, I went this way, right? I went here, I got scared. Oh, no one can see.
Yeah, I was just
sorry. Okay, so I came out here. I was looking out across here. This is where it was doing its creepy thing. And it was chasing that water guy over here. It disappeared. It saw me up here in this window and it started coming back, right? So I panicked and like ran around the building, like just going like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
I came out this door. I walked along the side of the building. This is where I saw the UFO over here.
Okay.
Right? So like imagine they're like half a mile off. There's like a bit of a mountain range like right here. I saw that weird UFO kind of duck up out of the mountain. I ran around here in between this building, and there was a picnic table right there and a garbage right there. And I stood here with my back against the wall, kind of like figuring out what to do. And it followed me out right here, and then it went meow, and it went way past me. And so what I did was I came out here, and I was gonna run off into the desert, and I was like, that's a dumb idea because it'll see me. So then I poked my head out here and it wasn't there. So that's when I booked it that way. So that's what the buildings were like long, thin and long, and like kind of row buildings, like they were stacked together.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to remember what that looked like. I don't know if it's useful, but that's it.
God, it's so weird.
I'll set it there.
So one of the things that I intuited is, you know how you said the doors made like a it's probably a decontamination room.
Oh, that makes sense.
Which is why it made the
there were also suits there.
Yeah,
there,
suits. Exactly.
They were like on these pegs that were hanging, like suction to the glass, because the whole room was glass. It was like metal kind of around the outside of it. The whole room was glass. And then there was a tray on the ground that I'm assuming, put your shoes into. And so this one went, and you walked in and it went behind you. And then the other one went, and I walked through that.
Yeah, it's probably a clean room in there.
There were 2 metal tables, like long stainless steel tables.
Do you think that they were tables, or do you think they were for like autopsies?
They could have been, because they had wheels on the bottom, but they didn't look like gurneys. Like they looked more like movable tables to me.
Got it.
Because they had like not tubing, but like metal pipes underneath where you could like put things. There was nothing on top. Everything was spotless. Like there was no dirt. There was nothing. There was no windows. And so I'm looking at these 2 tables, and out of the corner of my eye, I realized there's more glass. And when I turned and looked, I realized it was a wall or like a giant window. And I was like, I thought, is this like 2-way glass? Because on the other side of it, that's when I was like this is like
2.
Yeah, on the other side of it was like a smallish sized classroom. There was like a big beanbag chair. It must have been for like one person and like maybe one kid.
Yeah.
And there was like maybe a little bit above your knee height bookshelves that sort of like lined one of the walls that had like little books in it. And there was some toys and like, but they weren't, what's weird is they were like blocks. They were like wooden toys. It wasn't like modern toys.
Sure.
And then there was one door.
You know what the thing that's the most suspicious about the whole thing to me is the fact there were no people there.
There was no people at
That's
all. I could
so-
hear people,
That's really
but
strange.
I couldn't see people.
Hmm.
Like I heard children talking at one point, and I heard people when I was in the hangar, but I could not see anyone. The hangar with all the trucks and the white pickup trucks. I could hear people talking, but I couldn't see anyone. The only things I saw were the like sentinel things and then
Yeah.
those weird water people, and I only saw 3 of them.
Do you remember
or
what
2
color
maybe.
the walls were in those rooms? The clean rooms?
The clean room?
Like
They were like light colored walls.
Yeah.
They weren't dark.
Yeah.
And then the children's room was like a regular, like there was nothing suspicious about it. Like
Sure.
it just looked like a regular little classroom, but for like little kids.
Yeah.
Um.
Man, that's so strange.
Yeah. It was really weird. It definitely. I'd love to map it out.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to go back
Yeah.
and like see if I can push into other places and like
Yeah.
see different things. But like it
Do
definitely.
you feel like you were?
I have no idea. I don't know if I was really there or if I was like, wasn't long enough to really know if that's what
Yeah.
you were going to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think,
Here's a weird thing that happened during the stream. Because remember how you kept feeling those like pulses?
yeah,
You felt a pulse, and then your camera literally like dimmed, and like your light dimmed, and then
wait, the light, the
literal
O-ring?
red light went whoa
after I felt a
after
pulse.
you felt a pulse.
No, that's so scary.
It's very weird. It is very, very strange.
That's scary. Like
I
you
think-
experience physical phenomena
I
in
think
the room.
the place that you went, and listen, like again, I want to just make this very clear. Like we don't know what to think about any of this stuff. We're never going to tell you this is real, this is not, this is this. We're always use your own discernment with this stuff. We don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
All I know is that every time we do this, really fucking weird stuff comes out. And this one was particularly strange.
I physically felt my chair vibrate a couple times.
It's really strange. Again, don't take any of this stuff as gospel. This is our experience.
This
You're
is
welcome to try this stuff yourself.
Yes, and this is again an important detail is this is only the first half of this process. So like you go and you collect information, you collect as a psychic, you collect information. That's the job is that you collect the information, but also you then have to discern the information.
Right.
And so my unconscious mind could be using symbolism, folklore, archetypes.
That's where I was going with this.
To explain things to me, and
Yes.
sometimes that's how it works. Sometimes that information, that psychic information, comes in what could be interpreted as a very literal experience. But if you instead discern it via like archetype and folklore and all those different
as if you're deciphering a dream.
yes, a dream, exactly. You'll come to different conclusions or you'll learn different things about it. And so this is the information gathering phase, which is fun and it's exciting. And it's the part of the phase that I don't like getting in the way of. I like to let it happen as it happens.
You're having
and,
fun.
And you're
playing.
Exactly. You have fun and you play, and then you be serious about the information that you gather. So you start looking, you start figuring out how you can, is there a way to prove that this is it? Or is there a way to look at it archetypally? Is there a way to is there something to take from this experience? So you have to have one foot in and one foot out to have the entire experience.
I got the distinct impression that what you were doing was something that other people were watching and were like amused by.
Oh, like here comes another one.
Or
yeah.
It's like so many people are doing this, let's see how good they really are. And we'll
I feel like the ship thing was a totally different thing. I don't feel like I was supposed to do that.
That
I literally
was very
felt
weird. Yeah.
different about that because I agree with you, and I think there was a silly aspect to kind of the first part of it, and even a little bit of the last part of it that felt playful.
Yeah.
Like it was sort of being very playful. But I don't know, man. The ship thing was very different, and it was a very cool experience.
Yeah, I'm fascinated. The stuff with the ship and like the black ooze, like the weird like viscous fluid that you
It
went
was
in
so
that
weird because it
doesn't leave you wet when you get
I
in
got
and out
out
of
wa-
it. Like
and it wasn't.
describing it as a membrane is so weird.
It felt like a membrane, like you were pushing into something, and then like it makes me think of I realize I'm nothing but like movie quotes, but like in The Abyss
Well, I said the same thing.
when
I
they
was
have to
like,
they have to
yeah,
like
they
learn
have
to
to
like breathe it in. It's like
well,
and
even
you're-
the entities you were seeing, the water people reminded me of the Abyss.
oh yeah,
Right?
yeah. It was like full of lots of like my mind was using I think a lot of science fiction stuff to like kind of try to get me into the right headspace.
Yeah.
Which could be entirely my own. Like that could be my
Right.
own discernment, you know what I
Sure.
mean? Or my own impression.
Yeah.
But it
It seems like sometimes when you do these remote viewing sessions, there's an element of almost like Inception, where
Mhm.
you have to like go into the
Yeah,
surface level
think you're right.
dream, and then you find a way to go even
Deeper.
deeper into it, where
I
things
think that's
become
100% right.
they become less abstract.
Yeah, they become a little bit more
become a
literal.
little more literal
Mhm.
as you go down, down, down.
I think you're right, and
it's like a hypnosis technique
Mhm.
almost.
I think that's what it is. I think it's like you have to keep dropping, and it's kind of why I take moments too to like drop into my physical body, like to fall into my body a little bit more, a little deeper, and every time I do it, you almost feel like you're like you're on the next level.
Yeah.
You just kind of keep going and going and going. But to come back out, comedies, your favorite food,
Yeah.
things that make you giggle, feeling comfortable,
Yeah, put on
comfort-
a nice pair of pajamas.
your comfort
or something.
person,
Yeah.
like your comfort pet, your comfort child, whatever it is. Like
Don't
just
stay in that
No,
heightened state.
You don't have
like
to.
don't. And also,
And you
it's
shouldn't.
sometimes very helpful to just like watching those things, being around your comfort
Mhm.
people, petting your animals.
Mhm.
Those are things that disconnect you from that
100%.
experience and allow you to ground.
It's
like you
not-
said, eat something.
It's not healthy for us. It's not necessarily healthy. It's not helpful for us to constantly be up in our higher senses. It can make us frazzled, and it can take us out of our physical body, and it can make us like, ooh, like you just feel so anxious and so like hyped up, and it can really be very agitating for the system. So do things that come back down, bring you right back down into like your lower kind of energy centers. Things
Yeah.
again, go sit on the ground, spend some time in nature, spend time with the people in your life, spend time with your favorite things. And those are the perfect, because then you get to have like that complete experience, right? Where
Yeah.
we can go into these higher psychic states, we can have these psychic experiences, and then we can bring all that information down. It's like, the best way to think of it is the mystic has to climb the mountain, but then the mystic has to return from the mountain back down and bring the information to everyone else. So you
Sure.
have to be able to do all of those things, and one without the other
Did you hear
can.
the knock upstairs?
Right now,
Yeah, you
yes, I
did.
did. I thought one without the other is it can be really agitating to your energy. So do both.
Do you know
Make
what
sure
I?
you have both.
Do you know what I bought last week? Because of the weird stuff that's been going on, and because of the UFO parts and things, I literally bought a bug detector.
Oh yeah, we have to figure out how it works.
Oh, I know how it works.
I'm scared of
I
it.
tested it out a couple times already.
Yeah, someone says similar to a psychedelic experience. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's a
there you
really
go.
good way of putting it.
There you go. We kind of had a miniature laptop moment.
What was it? What
Everyone
did I do?
was screaming at you to check your pockets for the key card.
Oh my god! I didn't even think about. You know what's funny? I
'Cause
was
you
in a
saw your body.
jumpsuit.
Yeah.
I've never seen my body. I don't think
What if you weren't? What if that wasn't your body?
it didn't feel like my body.
What if you were in somebody else's
It
body?
felt like somebody else's body.
That's creepy.
Because when I touched my hair, when I
Yeah,
got out of the
wasn't the
water,
same?
it was short.
Whoa!
It was like a cropped short
That's
haircut.
so spooky.
And because I went like this
you
to
think
like,
you were a dude?
I don't know. I was a person with short hair.
Wow.
But when I felt it, I was like, oh wait, I could feel like my neck, like my hair didn't feel like it was in a ponytail. It felt like a short haircut. So I did not feel. I feel like that was one of the first times I think I've ever noticed my physical body.
Yeah,
while remote
normally you
viewing.
don't ever
I don't really
talk about that.
No, and the other thing is, I'm really
You were also
moving
physical.
around a
You were
lot.
running.
I was running around.
Because when you normally do remote views, this
I
is the other
move.
thing that I thought was really weird is the fact that you were like physically running and hiding.
Uh-huh.
Because normally you
I
just
just
go
zoom around.
and you zoom to
Mhm.
wherever.
I didn't even think about it until I was out of the experience, and like I was kind of like starting to decompress a little bit. I was like standing outside the Little Alien, like I felt myself decompressing from the situation.
I'm just gonna go through my notes and see if there's anything that stuck out.
Yeah.
That I would like to. I'm
I'm excited to rewatch this, and also if I have any weird dreams, I'll post about them tomorrow.
Yeah, you were talking about how there were like there was a very sterile vibe, which would make sense for a clean room.
Sure. Yeah, like there wasn't. The other thing about that room is there wasn't really anything in it. Like there were the tables, but I didn't see like lab machines or like tools or anything. It just felt like a sterile, empty room. Maybe it was an examination room.
The giant gray plane that you saw.
Yeah.
Was it like a modern plane or was it like an older plane?
It was an older plane.
Weird. Okay.
Like not. It was like a World War II era plane.
Interesting.
It wasn't like a modern plane.
The spider web. Talk about the big spider web.
That was me physically seeing the shockwave.
Oh, weird.
So it was like.
Do you think it was like a scan,
Yeah.
like a laser grid type scan?
I think it was something that was like moving quickly. Like it felt like it moved. It felt like if something got triggered, it activated and went because it moved so fast, and it was like I could only see it if it passed over and through physical objects. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like where I was standing by the building and like the thing, so I could see it kind of like lightly illuminate. Like kind of a little bit of a tendril as it passed me and it moved forward. Any physical object, that's where the illumination was. And then, but anything outside of that, maybe like 10-foot space of the physical object it was passing through, I couldn't see it at all.
Talk about when you went into the pool and you looked up and you saw the ceiling. What was that?
So I went into the pool, and when I looked up, I could see the ceiling of the building. And so the whole building was painted black. And when I was standing outside of the pool, I could see that there was like tubing that had all been painted black too. But once I got into the pool, I realized that I was looking at what looked like kind of a floating, I don't want to say membrane again because it's not the right way to put it, but it was like a floating surface that kind of like moved a little bit.
Yeah.
And imposed onto it were like star systems.
That's
so they were just
cool.
like I don't know if
like a star map.
Like a star map. Yeah, it was literally a star map.
And it was like
I couldn't
undulating.
tell you. It was kind of like moving just a little bit, and like it just moved a little bit.
So strange.
I don't know if like you could use it maybe to like travel. Do you know what I mean? Like, could you use this to like zoom in and be like, I want to go to the Pleiades, or I want to go, you know what I mean? Like, is this the consciousness machine?
Weird? Maybe it's like a way to set the intention for what you're going to experience when you go into the psychological UFO, where you're like, that right there, that's where we're going. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you look at a target and then you're like, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
That's
and you know what?
strange.
You know the water being things?
Yeah.
That I kept seeing. I almost felt like, when you're playing a video game and you're playing a video game where there are other people on the map with you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't. It makes me think of Fable.
Like
you
Fable,
can't see them. You just see the outline of them. I
Their...
felt like I was seeing other people trying to do the same thing.
Viewers.
That's what I thought they were. I was like, are these other people running around in here? We're all running past each other, going like, oh god, what is that thing?
Do you remember how I described you when I saw myself
as
in the
water?
future?
Oh my god. I didn't even think about it until right
folks,
now.
If you go back and watch the last time that I used the God helmet.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that until this moment.
Myself in the future. And before myself in the future became aware of myself in the present, and we both went, "Oh fuck!" And I could feel him think, the version of me
You.
think, "Oh, this is that day." I saw Dana, but she was like
Dang, I
covered in a
didn't
sheet of
even
water,
think about that.
and she was like leaning in to whisper something in future me's ear, and it was very shocking. Dana was always like, "Oh, it must mean I'm dead. It
I
must
know.
mean
I
I'm
was
dead."
like,
But I got
die?
the impression that she was in a float tank. Like she was doing her own task. I was doing something. Tyler was there doing something. And then there was somebody else whose face I couldn't see because they were in like a contamination suit. They were,
That is
Tyler was
so
in a
weird.
cave. You were in a float tank. I was sitting in a chair in a lab and I had like a swim cap on with some stuff coming off of it, which was like clearly a version of the God helmet that
Mhm.
we perfected.
Mhm.
Or maybe not
Like
perfected,
something
but
like
had
that.
advanced. That's
Weird.
what that made me think of when you were talking
I
about the
did not
water, like
even
water people.
think
And I was
about
like,
that.
oh shit, maybe it's their remote viewing. Maybe
That-
they're people in the tank.
I kept thinking this is just like in Fable when you run past someone on the map and you're like, oh, there's a dude there.
Yeah. You just
And
see
you
the
can't
little orb.
see them. You just sort of like,
Yeah.
yes, you see the little orb, but like this was like a shimmery kind of watery humanoid shape, but it was human, not humanoid. It was a human shape, like a regular arm size, length, head, everything, but no kind of defining features. And I was like,
Did the water things like acknowledge you at all?
no.
So
I
they
mean,
didn't
kind
even-
of like at one point, I think one did
Yeah.
kind of go like, huh. But they
But they didn't
like,
know
try
you
to
were there.
grab me or like
Right.
They didn't even want to.
They were as surprised
Probably,
to see you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because one of them was being chased and the other one I saw on the roof.
Fuck, and that's man.
And
that's
then
so
and then one on the
crazy.
roof I think is the one that ran into the pool and just kind of, it didn't stop. It just ran into the room, went right into the pool. And that's when I realized that like, and then the helicopter people went in the pool. 3 people,
Yeah,
a
that's right.
helicopter like landed.
But you said they weren't like, they didn't like act like there was any tension. They just
No,
kinda,
they
like,
just went woo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
straight in.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I never saw them or anything. I don't know what that means.
Real fucking weird, man.
Yeah, I want to do it again.
Yeah, we should. Absolutely.
I want to do it again, and I want to go to more interesting places than just like
Well,
the supercomputer room and the room where
Yeah.
we keep all
Well,
the
we
white
didn't
pickup
really
trucks.
set any intention
No, I just
for
wanted
this
to
one.
see if
We
it was
wanted to just
possible.
see what would happen if we tried to
Yeah.
remote view Area 51 because we've never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
Some people ask how you prepare. Dana's been prepping for this all day long. She even started like yesterday, like
Yeah.
getting in the mood for it.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of meditation for me, and it's a lot of like what I do is I slowly start to extend my energy out a little further. I set that intention. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna go this place. We're gonna go. I talk a little bit about it in Hellier 2 before we went to Somerset for the first time. I spent a lot of time, and I just kind of I just refer to it as like extending my energy. Like I extended my energy out and just sort of like sussed out the vibe. You know what I mean? Like just sort of, you're just feeling out the general kind of energy of a space. Like what does it feel like? What are its major archetypes? What are its major influences? What are you picking up from it immediately without having to do anything too specific? Just like if I were to say to you, like, what does Chicago feel like? You know what I mean? Like you kind of just like slowly start vibing it a little.
Yeah.
And so all week long, I've just been extending a little more. I have not pressed into it. I didn't go into it. I made no effort to like actively be in there. But I was like, what does the desert
Putting the
feel like there
tendrils
a little
out.
bit? What is it? Yeah, like I'm just sort of starting to get a vibe for it a little bit. And I find that kind of prep really helps me be able to like sit in the chair and go boop, because I've kind of created that tether already.
Yeah.
I've set myself there a little bit, so it's a little bit easier.
Adler, did you practice the Naruto run though?
I didn't.
We were gonna make a little video.
We were literally
to post
going
on
to.
social media where it's just like staring
Maybe
the camera
I
straight ahead.
I
and then
still
Dana
will.
just goes whoosh and like Naruto runs through.
Yeah, we were.
But we didn't have time because I had the last minute show. Was why we started late. I had to
I
go to Walmart.
promise I'll make a video of me doing it because I feel like I have to now.
Leela wants to know: do you ever fear not being able to return?
No, I think that if you practice, I mean, so if that's a fear, which I think is a valid fear for a lot of people, and I've talked to lots of people who kind of have that, they start to be able to kind of do a little bit of astral projection and maybe a little bit of remote viewing, and the second they feel it working, they kind of go like, no, like they don't want to do it. It just kind of like, and it's totally normal. It's absolutely 100% normal. And the way that I have worked through my own kind of fears about that is embodiment exercises. So doing a lot of I do a lot of mindfulness techniques that really helps me, and a lot of embodiment techniques. And that basically what you want to do is you want to know exactly how your energy feels, what your energy is. And that way you can immediately come back into your body. You immediately feel embodied because you've been practicing all of these embodiment and mindfulness techniques. So that could be really helpful.
Tim, that is crazy. Tim Lisco, I took an astralish trip to connect with an old friend at 5 a.m. this morning. A few hours later, she posted on Facebook for the first time in 13 years.
Wow. It works. It really works.
Oh,
I promise you,
man.
anyone can be a remote viewer. Anyone can be psychic. Anyone can do psychic questing. You all absolutely 100,000% can do this. You just have to learn how to do it. Most of you can drive cars. Most of you can do a bunch of really cool shit that half of us can't do. You learned how to do it. You can learn how to do this too. You absolutely 100% can.
Well, this was...
And some of us are better at than others, and some of us are better in different ways than others, but everyone can do it.
Some people have natural talent. Some people have to develop it.
Yeah.
And you have to work on it.
Exactly.
And just like any other talent, it can atrophy if you don't do it either.
Absolutely.
This was very fun.
It was very fun.
I always laugh about how it's like going to the movies. Every time you do one of these, it's like going to the movies, and we don't know what kind of movie we're signing up for. This one felt like a spy thriller.
Those sentry things, the way they moved was so creepy because they would go like, I almost have to do it. I'm going to do it. They moved like this. Let me move this chair. You're going to laugh so hard. They moved like this.
Oh,
but it was
God.
It was like not, they weren't jumping like or running. They were like floating forward, but their legs were like just, it was very scary. And they could move really fast.
Feels like they were programmed to be there. Somebody put them there to do what they were doing.
They felt like the big daddies in BioShock.
Somebody brought that up.
That's what they felt like. They felt like they were kind of,
I think it was Allie might have said it.
They were kind of conscious.
Rosie.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, they had a job to do, and like they have these big boop 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 lights that kind of like, it was really weird.
And then you got
like in Mars Attacks, exactly. They were like little.
And then you got to say hi to Glenn.
I mean, I don't know what it was. It was just his face. It appeared out of the sky.
Yeah,
just kind of like a comforting expression, and it just faded in, and then it just faded back out again.
As soon as I could feel that you were emotional, I like got hit with a wave of it, and I knew exactly. I was like, I bet she sees Glenn.
Yeah, and again, it was like his giant head floating.
So weird,
his
dude.
Gigantic head, just
so strange,
floating in the cosmos. But it was like
weird.
it was very like content, kind of, which was what made me really emotional.
Oh. That's what a nice way to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody, this was super fun. Let's do this again. We'll do it with a little more intention behind it next time.
I'll do a better map than this, and then Greg can post it for you guys too.
Let's
start mapping this out.
Yeah,
this is like in Yellow Jackets where they're like making the map.
Oh yeah,
except we won't do. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But
well, this was super fun. Thanks for coming and tuning in and getting weird with us tonight, gang. We do this stuff. If you're new, we do this stuff once a month.
Yeah, welcome. What a weird first.
I know, right? At least once a month, we do an exercise that's either this. Last month, we went on a live ghost hunt for like 5 hours, which is fucking cool.
With Connor.
It was super fun. We'll have special guests once in a while. Yeah, every month we do stuff like this, and we try and keep it themed to
Oh,
the
yeah.
podcast if we can.
Sorry, Sarah just said Glenn Campbell is Major Briggs.
Oh,
That's what it was like. That's
so
exactly what it was
cool.
like. Sorry, go ahead.
And Monday, I think we will have an X-Files artifact reveal.
Oh my
Technically
God.
artifacts, because we have a few that we recently acquired. If you didn't know, we're huge X-Files fans, and as we work on building out the collection for the soon to come brick and mortar museum here in Cincinnati, I want to have a fucking little X-Files wing. Do you think we have enough for an X-Files
Yes,
wing?
I think we do. This is a cool artifact.
But I'm
It's-
going to
it's-
show you.
It's a
this might be one of the
undeniable one.
best.
It's
Yeah,
like
because we have a bunch of like actual screen used X-Files.
yeah, we've got cool stuff.
Mulder's flashlight, Scully's gun. We've got a few of those things from the series, but this one,
It's so good.
it's so fucking good. And there's a few things, and so we'll show you those on Monday, and then Friday next week is
Live
the
podcast!
live podcast episode. Technically the 20th episode. We're calling it a special because it's not going to be quite as
Structured.
and tight as our normal ones. It's kind
I'm
of
sure
just a
Connor
celebration.
will make sure it's very structured.
Connor has plans.
We will
Always.
It'll just be a little bit more loosey goosey.
Yeah, it's a celebration of the season, and the artifact that we're going to talk about is the crone, which is the subject of the unbinding, and we'll just tell you, you're going to see the final trailer, the full trailer.
The full trailer.
And because we've only had the teaser out, you'll see the full trailer before anybody else, and you'll get the release date where you will be able to watch the unbinding at home. If you don't want to wait, you want to see it early, come to one of the screenings. We're gonna have a good time. I can't fucking wait.
I saw someone earlier make the joke. They were like, are there going to be Whoppers there for everyone?
No, not at this one.
We'll have to, if you're new and you don't know why we give you Whoppers before movies, we'll share
the
that joke
video
with you
at some
very
point.
soon.
I can't wait to stand in the back of the theater
I know.
and watch everyone's reactions
Yeah.
to this movie.
I think Carl and Greg are going to both be crying.
I don't
There's
know.
going to be some trembling.
Carl's not a big crier, I don't think.
He's going to do one of these. He's got a beard to hide it, but
Carl's pretty stoic.
Carl's going to be going.
I'll probably cry. I'm very excited for people to finally see this fucking movie. We've been
Yeah.
working on it for so fucking
That's true.
long, and we finally have a release date. We just got our digital cinema projection file so we can show it in theaters. Can't wait.
So
Okay.
check the itinerary.
Check the itinerary always, and there might be some surprises in there depending on what we're announcing. and
You
all that
always
good
tell
stuff.
people check the itinerary on Patreon because Greg sometimes moves things around. So make sure you check it on Patreon.
Yeah, I don't think anything else will get moved this month.
Okay.
This is pretty solid month.
So we see you again 1 week from tonight.
Yes, live
1 week from tonight, we'll be back here with you for the live podcast episode with friends, in
Yeah.
costumes probably,
and surprises.
and fun things. And then you get to see the full trailer.
All right,
Yay!
guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thanks
Everybody-
for spending your Friday night with us.
Go eat something delicious. Go ground,
Yeah, go
everybody.
ground. We're gonna go watch Flight of the Navigator. I can't fucking believe you've
I've
never
literally
seen this
never
movie.
seen it.
You're going to love it. There's fucking puppets.
I love puppets. Are the Jim Henson puppets?
Looks very Jim Henson. I don't
Those are
think
my
it is
favorite
Jim
kind of
Henson, but it looks
puppets.
very. You're gonna fucking love this movie. It's
I'm a
great.
little afraid of puppets.
Puppets. Love you guys. Thanks for everything. We'll talk to you guys on Friday.
See ya. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.